A level 30 nobody would soon survive an execution trap built by 10 powerful planets, then walk back into danger as if death had missed its only chance. But Su Lin's greatest threat was not the armies hunting Wolf Shadow, it was the invisible chain tying his life to Xuhui, the princess standing closest to him. Power rushed into his body. It crashed through him, slamming into every bone, every muscle, every cell. Su Lin heard his own heartbeat getting faster, his blood roaring through his veins like a river breaking through a dam. His bones creaking like they were about to shatter. Then a voice coming from inside him, cold, mechanical, emotionless, identical to the one from the heavenly tower. Second ability awakening initiated. Target Su Lin. Current ability unknown. Exceeds evaluation range. Randomly generating second ability. Generating. Result D rank attack ability. Strength enhancement 2 times. Confirm. His heart dropped. D rank. Strength enhancement 2 times. Did his luck passive fail? Could it not change his awakening after all? His fingers clenched. Then something moved inside him. Not the Star Source Stone's power. Not the awakening energy. Something else entirely. More mysterious. More elusive. Like an invisible hand reaching out and plucking a single string on the loom of fate. Su Lin knew exactly what it was. His passive favor of fate kicking in. The mechanical voice suddenly glitched. Warning. Unknown interference detected. Awakening result regenerating. Generating. Result life sovereign. Health points enhanced to 10,000-fold. Exceeds evaluation range. Additional effect. Every attack deals 1% of maximum health points as bonus damage. Confirm. His heartbeat skipped. Health points enhanced 10,000-fold. His current health points was 60.02 quadrillion. Multiply that by 10,000. 600.2 quintillion. And every single attack would carry 1% of that as bonus damage. Su Lin took a deep breath and forced the smile back down where nobody could see it. Confirm. The power exploded inside him the second he confirmed. His body was being torn apart and rebuilt. Every inch of skin burning, every muscle seizing, every bone creaking like it was about to snap. It hurt. Worse than the soul burning, way worse. But he bit down and didn't make a sound. 10 full minutes of blinding light and agony. Then, silence. Su Lin was kneeling in front of the groove, drenched in sweat, clothes soaked through, hair plastered to his forehead, gasping for air. Su Lin opened his eyes. Golden text floated in front of him. Second awakening complete. Ability obtained life sovereign. Rating exceeds evaluation range. The Blood Flame King stood over him, staring. His expression was a mess, shock, disbelief, greed, and something else fighting for space on his face. What rank? He asked. His voice was shaking. Su Lin looked up at him. Exceeds evaluation range. His pupils shrank. Again? Both awakenings exceeded evaluation. What kind of person was he? What type? Health points amplification, 10,000-fold. His breathing stopped. 10,000-fold. Triple S rank abilities maxed out at 200. His second awakening alone matched the rarest geniuses who got triple S on both awakenings. He'd given him the best Star Source Stone, the best awakening environment, the best everything. But he'd never dared hope for anything good. Second awakenings were too random. A 10-fold health points boost would have made him happy. 50-fold, and he'd have been thanking the heavens. Just getting any health points type ability at all would have been a win. And he had gone and pulled 10,000-fold. Health points amplification. Rule breaking. Again? There's more, he said. He blinked. More? Su Lin stood up, rolled his neck. His whole body crackled and popped. Every attack deals bonus damage equal to 1% of his maximum health points. The chamber went dead silent. The Blood Flame King stood frozen like someone had cast a spell on him. Mouth open, eyes wide. His expression cycled from shock to disbelief to ecstasy to fear. He was afraid. Afraid of him. A level 20 kid. 60.02 quadrillion base health points times 10,000-fold. That was 600.2 quintillion health points. Every attack carrying 1% of that as bonus damage. 100% Thorn's reflection. 100% health points regen per second. Stacks of control skills, damage skills, survival skills. He took a step backward. For the first time, what he saw in his eyes wasn't greed or admiration. It was raw, genuine terror. He couldn't control something like him. Then he saw the relief wash over him. Because Xuhui had the soul enslavement crystal. His life and death were in her hands. As long as she was alive, he couldn't break free. As long as she was alive, he took a deep breath and buried the fear. The Blood Flame King forced his voice steady, praised the result, and left the chamber while the heavy stone door slammed shut behind him. Only Su Lin and Xuhui remained, and the princess finally turned from the corner where she had watched the impossible awakening in silence. Xuhui broke the tension by teasing Su Lin for looking too pleased with himself. while he answered her provocation with the same calm silence. She stepped closer, studied the numbers again, and repeated the unbelievable facts. A 10,000-fold health boost and bonus damage tied to maximum health. For a moment Suwei genuinely wondered whether Su Lin was somehow cheating the rules, but the thought only made her laugh for real. It was not her usual smug laugh. This time she was honestly happy that someone beside her had received such an absurd advantage. She admitted that Su Lin had won this round, joked that fate itself seemed to be feeding him power, and headed toward the exit. When he stayed behind, she called him after her, and Su Lin followed while keeping a respectful distance through the corridor. At the entrance to her quarters, Zhu Wei stopped him again, sunlight spilling past her shoulders as she read the impatience on his face. She already knew Su Lin wanted to rush straight into level 20 rifts and start grinding before the excitement of his awakening had even faded. Zhu Wei warned him that ordinary Tier 2 planets had no rifts below level 100, and their own heavenly tower also began at that threshold. That immediately raised a problem in Su Lin's mind, because awakeners below level 100 still needed somewhere to gain levels and rewards. Zhu Wei explained that every Tier 2 world used teleportation arrays to send its younger awakeners to one special planet built around low-level rifts. That planet was called Origin Star, an enormous world where countless Tier 2 civilizations gathered to climb, compete, and clear the same ancient rifts. According to Zhu Wei, Origin Star was roughly 10,000 times larger than Bloodflame Star, and about 1,000,000 times larger than Blue Star. More importantly, its rifts were not ordinary branches like the ones Su Lin had cleared back home. They were connected directly to the source. Zhu Wei compared Blue Star's rifts to branches growing from a tree, while Origin Star held the roots from which those branches spread. Su Lin understood the implication immediately, and the next detail made the entire system even more valuable to someone built for endless grinding. Rifts on Origin Star stayed open after a clear, so the same challenge could be entered repeatedly instead of disappearing forever. That meant Su Lin could grind them again and again, though Zhu Wei quickly warned him that the opportunity came with several restrictions. First, Origin Star rifts were several times harder, so a challenge finished in 1 hour on Blue Star might consume an entire day there. Second, repeat clears did not keep producing new skills or items. Only the first clear granted a unique reward, while later runs gave points. Su Lin accepted that limitation immediately, because unlimited first clear rewards would let any determined awakener become absurdly powerful after enough repetitions. Third, every rift had a public ranking board recording the fastest times and highest scores for every Tier 2 planet to see. Back on Blue Star, Su Lin had cleared 223 rifts in obscurity, but Origin Star would broadcast every extraordinary result across the universe. Zhu Wei deliberately challenged him with that fact, yet Su Lin showed no fear, and she could read the answer from his expression before he spoke. She told him that the teleportation trip would happen the next day and ordered him to rest while he still had the chance. After Zhu Wei disappeared into her quarters, Su Lin returned to his own room and finally let the strain of the awakening settle. Su Lin stripped off the sweat-soaked clothes from the awakening, walked into the bathroom, and let the hot water wash everything off. Eyes closed, he ran through everything she'd told him. Origin Star, impossibly large. The root of all rifts, several times harder. Then he opened his panel. Name Su Lin. Main body, level 20. Status enslaved. Health points, 600.2 quintillion. Base 10,000 times 20 trillion fold. Equipment, 30 million times 20 trillion fold. Attack, 201,000. Base 1,000 ring 200,000. 2 abilities, 17 skills total, 9 active, 8 passive. Every one of them handpicked, essential, perfectly fitted to his combat system. The second ability alone changed everything. Life Sovereign, 10,000-fold health points amplification, plus every attack carrying 1% of his max health points as bonus damage. With 600.2 quintillion health points, that meant every single hit he landed would deal 6 quintillion in bonus damage on top of everything else. By the next morning, Zhu Wei arrived at Su Lin's door in practical black combat clothes, her hair braided neatly down the front. Zhu Wei stood there in a black combat outfit, hair braided in a single plait down her chest, much more practical than yesterday. She carried a tray with steaming porridge, side dishes and 2 buns, pushed breakfast into his hands, and told him they would leave afterward. Su Lin noticed red berries floating in the porridge, and Zhu Wei explained that they were blood flame fruit traditionally eaten to strengthen the blood. She joked that the effect probably meant nothing beside his monstrous health pool, but still insisted that he finish the meal. Su Lin took the tray inside. She followed and dropped into a chair, legs crossed, watching him eat. Su Lin sat down and took a sip. The porridge was thick with a faint sweetness, When he bit into the blood flame berries, the juice burst open in his mouth like warm sugar water. Shuwei proudly claimed responsibility for bringing the breakfast, then watched him eat with the satisfaction of someone pretending the gesture was completely ordinary. A few bites later, she remarked that Su Lin's slow, careful way of eating reminded her of her mother rather than her battle-hardened father. Her father ate as if every meal were a battlefield, while her mother had always taken small bites and eaten with quiet patience. Su Lin did not interrupt, because Shuwei was no longer teasing him. She had slipped into a memory she had carried for years. She told him that her mother had died 10 years earlier at the hands of people from Sirius Star, and Su Lin's chopsticks stopped. Sirius Star was a Tier 2 planet ranked 73rd, 22 places above Bloodflame Star, and the gap in power had shaped Shuwei's entire life. During the invasion, Sirius Star killed Shuwei's mother and older brother, seized 30 resource planets, and took control of one of Bloodflame Star's teleportation arrays. Shuwei made it clear that both she and her father hated Sirius Star, and the hatred in her red eyes carried 10 years of helpless frustration. Su Lin asked whether she needed him to help fight Sirius Star, and after studying her expression for 3 seconds, he gave a simple agreement. Okay. The teleportation array was 3 floors underground beneath the palace, each level darker and colder than the last. The torches on the walls shifted from bright orange to deep purple. The air smelled ancient, like a basement sealed for centuries. Funny thing, walking through a place like this, he actually felt more at home than in all those golden halls upstairs. Shuwei stopped beside a massive circular platform, nearly 100 meters across, where dark gold runes flowed around a central pit of milky light. She identified it as the teleportation array, and Su Lin studied the ancient symbols while asking what anyone actually knew about Origin Star. Shuwei explained that Origin Star appeared on no star map and had no known coordinates. People could reach or leave it only through these arrays. No civilization knew who built the network, and the arrays had existed for tens of millions of years, longer than the recorded history of any Tier 2 planet. Stories claim that a higher dimensional civilization created them, while older legends went further and credited beings that mortals simply called gods. Shuwei explained that the strongest bloodlines on Tier 3 planets called themselves the God Race, though no one had ever verified the existence of a true god. Whether the legends were real mattered less than what waited ahead, because Origin Star gathered people from every Tier 2 planet in the universe. Shuwei warned that youths from the top 50 planets behaved like nobles among beggars and often treated Bloodflame Star's people like animals. Su Lin could defeat nearly any younger opponent there, even royal heirs from the top 10 planets, but winning the wrong fight could doom an entire world. If he humiliated one of those heirs too early, their elders could simply descend on Bloodflame Star and erase it before Su Lin grew strong enough to retaliate. With that warning delivered, Shuwei led him onward, just as the Blood Flame King arrived with several elders, all wearing the pressure of veteran warriors. The king's armor displayed level 190, while the elders behind him were all above level 150 and treated the journey with grave caution. After confirming everyone was present, the king ordered the teleportation array activated, and 3 elders pressed their palms against the glowing edge runes. Dark gold light rushed inward like rippling water, the white center began to churn, and Shuwei stepped onto the platform before Su Lin followed. Su Lin followed. The moment the light swallowed them, it felt like being grabbed and shoved through a narrow tube at impossible speed. Wind howling in his ears, colors flashing past red, green, blue, purple, like a kaleidoscope. About 10 seconds, then stillness. Su Lin opened his eyes. Su Lin was standing on an enormous plaza, so big he couldn't see where it ended. The ground was white stone. Above him blue sky, white clouds. Not Bloodflame Star's dark red sky. Real blue. Exactly like Blue Star. The plaza was packed with people. Awakeners from every Tier 2 planet in the universe. Some had wings. Some were covered in scales. Some had blue skin. Some had slit pupils. Some had horns on their heads. Some had tails trailing behind them. They wore all kinds of armor, carried all kinds of weapons, stood in clusters speaking all kinds of languages. This is Origin Star, Shuwei said beside him. Those groups out there are gathered around their planet's teleportation arrays. This isn't even the main plaza. They still have to walk further. The city entrance is up ahead. She led him through the crowd toward the far end of the plaza. There stood a gate 1,000 meters tall, 500 meters wide, solid gold. 2 guards flanked it. Not people puppets. 10 meters tall, covered in silver white metal. No faces, just 2 glowing eyes each, standing perfectly still like statues. Go in, Shuwei said. Su Lin followed her through. On the other side, a city impossibly huge. Buildings stretched into the clouds. Some shaped like towers, some like mountains, some floating in midair. Streets as wide as plazas, lined on both sides with shops, equipment sellers, material vendors, intelligence brokers. People everywhere, more than the plaza outside. This is Origin City, Shuai said. Every 2-planet lives here. The city has thousands of teleportation arrays that connect directly to rift entrances. She pointed at a black tower in the distance. That's the ranking board. Su Lin followed her finger and looked. Row after row of text, packed tight. Thousands of rift rankings displayed for everyone to see. Every tier 2 planet in the universe could read them. Su Lin stopped walking and stared up at the tower. Shuai stopped too. Su Lin found a ranking he recognized. Rift Bloodbone Abyss, difficulty rank 10 level 10. Rift, first place. Holy Light Star Shang Tianjiao, clear time, 41 hours 17 minutes. Second place. Dark Abyss Star and Wuhen, clear time, 43 hours 52 minutes. Third place. Stellar Star Xingyun, clear time, 45 hours 8 minutes. Fourth place. Chaos Star Hundunzi, clear time, 46 hours 33 minutes. Fifth place. Primordial Star Tai E, clear time, 47 hours 59 minutes. All 5 were from top 10 ranked tier 2 planets. Holy Light Star, Dark Abyss Star, Stellar Star, Chaos Star, Primordial Star. Zhuwei had made a point of telling him those names on the way here. Her main message was clear. If he ran into any of them, keep his head down. No conflicts, because any single one of those planets could grind Bloodflame Star to dust. Their best geniuses took over 40 hours to clear the Bloodbone Abyss. Su Lin cleared it in 47 minutes. They got back to Origin City after he cleared the Bloodbone Abyss. Shuai saw his time, 47 minutes. She couldn't believe it. The best teams from top-ranked planets take over 40 hours, and he did it in 47 minutes. She told him to keep quiet about it. Walking through the city, he noticed people staring at Sui's Bloodflame Star badge. Su Lin could hear them whispering, calling her planet trash, saying they got nearly wiped out 10 years ago, pitying her. Shuai didn't stop. She kept walking with her back straight. When she asked if he heard them, he told her he was used to that kind of thing. She said she was too, ever since that day 10 years ago. She led him to the Bloodflame Star quarters on the east side of the city. The buildings there were short and old, nothing like the grand ones in the center where the top 50 planets stayed. A few young warriors in Bloodflame armor greeted her as princess along the way. Right when they reached the door, a voice called out behind them. It was Wolf Yin Xiao, the third prince of Sirius Star, ranked 73rd. He was level 90 with double triple S abilities. He had sharp, snake-like eyes and a nasty smile. He started mocking Zhu Wei, calling her planet garbage, saying she was pretty but worthless because of where she came from. Then he brought up the war from 10 years ago, how her father nearly died, how her mother and brother did die. Zhu Wei was shaking with rage, biting her lip until it bled, but she didn't fight back. She couldn't. Sirius Star was way too strong for Bloodflame Star to challenge. He poked his chest and told him he had no future sticking with a trash planet. He even said he'd marry Zhu Wei someday and make Bloodflame Star a vassal of Sirius. After he left, Zhu Wei stood there trembling. Her eyes were red, but she forced the tears back. Then she took a breath and told him to go inside. Su Lin followed her in. Zhu Wei brought him to his room, small, just a bed, a desk, a chair, and a window facing the alley. She stayed at the door and asked if he wanted to know why she stopped him from fighting Wolf Yin Xia. Su Lin told her he already knew. If he hit him, his father would come and Bloodflame Star would be destroyed. She looked surprised that he figured it out. Then she started talking about what happened 10 years ago. Her mother died, her brother died, her father barely survived. Their planet's ranking dropped from 95th to somewhere past 1000th. That meant anyone could bully them and their people couldn't hold their heads up on Origin Star. She'd been swallowing her anger for 10 years. She told him she needed him to get strong enough to help her fight back. But first, he had to stay alive. Then she brought up something he hadn't thought about. On Blue Star, nobody tracked his results. But here, every rift he cleared was posted on a public leaderboard. His name, his planet, his time. Su Lin cleared Bloodbone Abyss in 47 minutes. The current first place took over 41 hours. That's 50 times slower than him. She explained what would happen if people saw that. A level 20 nobody from a fallen planet clearing a top 10 rift 50 times faster than the best. The top planets would come hunting. They wouldn't try to recruit him. They'd kill him. Because no top planet would allow another planet to have someone like him. Any planet that kept him would become a target. But she and her father had a plan. She handed him a crystal tablet with information about a rift called the Fraud Maze. A level 20 rift ranked 25th in difficulty. The first-time reward was an item called the Mask of Deception. It lets you change the name and planet shown on leaderboards. It can be used unlimited times. And the better your score, the longer the disguise lasts. Su Lin understood immediately that he would use the mask of deception to hide his identity whenever he cleared public rifts, and Zhuai asked which planet he planned to impersonate. Sirius Star. Her eyes lit up. That was her real plan. If the leaderboard kept showing some unknown Sirius Star genius smashing records, the top 10 planets would notice. They'd investigate. Sirius Star wouldn't be able to produce this person because he doesn't exist. The top planets would think Sirius was hiding a dangerous talent. They'd demand Sirius hand him over. When Sirius couldn't, the top planets would attack them. She told him she'd been dreaming of destroying Sirius Star since the day her mother died. For 10 years, every single day. But she couldn't beat them. Not her father, not their whole planet combined. So she needed him. Su Lin was quiet for a long time. Then he said yes. Shuai took a deep breath and laid out the full plan. First, Su Lin had to clear the fraud maze as fast as possible, because a faster clear would make the mask of deception last longer. Right now, the top score gives about 1 week of disguise time, but 1 week wasn't nearly enough for him. Su Lin needed to grow strong enough to fight level 200 warriors within that window. So, he had to crush the record by a huge margin to get a longer-lasting mask. But that alone wasn't enough. She told him even with the leaderboard disguise, he could still be found. His abilities were so far beyond normal that every planet would go all out hunting for him. They wouldn't just pressure Sirius Star. They'd also search Origin Star itself, turning everyone into spies. Their power and methods were beyond anything he could imagine. That gave him chills. Su Lin didn't expect to be this popular. So after the frog maze, he had to immediately rush to a second rift called the Mirror of 1,000 Faces. Not a second to waste. This level 20 rift, ranked 23rd in difficulty, gives a reward called the 1,000 Illusion Mask. It changes your appearance, body shape, energy signature, even your ability wavelength. The faster you clear it, the higher the level of people it can fool. The current record holder cleared it in about 5.5 hours, and his mask could fool up to level 150. That wasn't good enough for him. Su Lin needed to fool level 200 warriors or he would be found and killed. She said once he cleared the frog maze and Sirius Star appears at the top of the leaderboard with an insane score, the news would spread across every planet within 10 minutes. Once the fake Sirius Star record appeared, Su Lin would have only 10 minutes to reach the Mirror of 1,000 Faces before the universal hunt intensified. Every second mattered. Su Lin told her 10 minutes was enough. Then she gave him a smooth black stone, warm to the touch, a blood flame stone, a communication device unique to Blood Flame Star. She told him to use it instead of a phone, since phones could be monitored. She held his hand and showed him how it worked. Just think of the person you want to reach and push a little energy into it. Su Lin tried it and her stone lit up. It worked. Then she said something that stuck with him. She told him not to trust anyone, not even her. She said she could be controlled, impersonated, or forced to send him fake messages. Su Lin had to use his own judgment. She told him to go to the teleportation plaza alone. She was too recognizable as a princess. If she came along, people would notice him. She gave him directions. Go east, find the level 20 rift zone. Don't talk to anyone. Don't make eye contact. Just be invisible. Su Lin walked out alone. The streets were packed with awakeners from all kinds of planets. People near the top 50 planets' quarters scanned every stranger that walked by, like habit. That was just how Origin Star worked. The weak had to walk with their heads down. After about an hour, he reached the teleportation plaza. It wasn't a plaza. It was an ocean. Tens of millions of people stretching to the horizon. Thousands of teleportation gates stood in neat rows. Each one dozens of meters wide and hundreds of meters tall, made of dark gold metal covered in glowing runes. Hundreds of thousands of people crowded in front of each gate, surging forward in waves, disappearing in flashes of light. Nobody bumped into him. Nobody even looked at him. Everyone here was busy getting stronger, busy staying alive. Nobody cared about a level 20 nobody. Su Lin followed the signs. Level 10 rifts, gates 1 through 200. Level 20 rifts, gates 201 through 400. Level 30, level 40, on and on. Su Lin kept walking toward the level 20 zone. Su Lin reached the level 20 rift zone. The teleportation gates here were even bigger, 100 meters wide, 300 meters tall, with glowing runes covering every surface. Giant crystal boards floated above each gate, showing the rift rankings and record holders. Su Lin found the two he was looking for. The Fraud Maze, ranked 25th, record held by someone from Star Planet at 5 hours 38 minutes. The Mirror of 1,000 Faces, ranked 23rd, record at 7 hours 12 minutes. Su Lin stared at them for 3 seconds, then headed to gate 225, the Fraud Maze. Hundreds of thousands of people crowded around the gate. Some were waiting to go in, others stumbling out covered in blood but with bright eyes. Su Lin didn't wait. Su Lin walked straight through. Inside, everything was thick gray fog. Su Lin could barely see his own hand. A mechanical voice explained the rules. 99 forks in the road, each 2 choices, left or right. Pick right, move forward. Pick wrong, back to the start. Su Lin had 72 hours. If he ran out of time, a level 100 guardian would show up, beat it, and he could leave with no reward, or it would kill him. The voice said there was no map, no pattern, no logic. Pure luck. But then he remembered something, his passive ability, Fate's Favor. Any random event automatically shifts toward the best outcome for him. Su Lin decided to bet on it. Su Lin just started walking. No thinking, no hesitating. Left, left, right. Su Lin picked randomly and kept moving. Every time the fog cleared a little, meaning he had chosen correctly. Su Lin went faster and faster, almost running by the end. Fork after fork, 64, 75, 86, 97, 98, 99. Every single one correct. At the last fork, the fog exploded open and revealed a golden door with the words, Fraud Maze Exit. Su Lin checked his time, 4 minutes and 52 seconds. 99 forks, 99 correct choices. Fate's favor was incredible. Behind the door was a stone room with a pedestal. On it lay a silver-white mask, thin as a cicada's wing, glowing faintly. Su Lin picked it up and golden text appeared before his eyes. He had broken the record. The old one was 5 hours 38 minutes. His was 4 minutes 52 seconds. His score was rated SSS with a note saying it couldn't even be described in words. And the deception duration, permanent. Su Lin took a deep breath. Permanent. Su Lin didn't even need to worry about a time limit. The mask melted into his skin like cool water, then disappeared. Su Lin immediately changed his leaderboard name to Wolf Shadow. Just made it up on the spot and set his planet to Sirius Star. Su Lin walked out through the gate back into the plaza. Nobody noticed him. Tens of millions of people all busy with their own business. Su Lin kept his head down and started walking toward the mirror of 1,000 faces. About 30 seconds later, he heard a scream behind him. Holy, look at the leaderboard. Su Lin didn't turn around. Su Lin kept walking, but the crowd was already going wild. What happened? The Fraud Maze leaderboard changed. First place isn't Star Planet's guy anymore. Who is it? Su Lin walked out of the Fraud Maze and back into the plaza. Nobody noticed him. Just another level 20 kid in a sea of millions. Su Lin sent Shuai a message through the blood flame stone, cleared the maze, heading to the mirror of 1,000 faces. Then the screaming started behind him. The giant crystal board above gate 225 now showed a new first place for the Fraud Maze. First place, Sirius Star, Wolf Shadow, 4 minutes 52 seconds. The old record was 5 hours 38 minutes. The plaza went dead silent for 3 seconds, then it exploded. People were losing their minds. They couldn't believe it. For minutes, not for hours. Someone pointed out the only explanation. Whoever did it never stopped to think. Picked correctly all 99 times without a single mistake. Others screamed about cheating, but someone shut that down fast. This was Origin Star. The rules here couldn't be cheated. Within seconds, thousands of people were taking photos of the leaderboard, calling their home planets. The news spread like a virus. 10 seconds to the East District, 30 seconds to the West. 3 minutes, the entire Origin Star knew. 5 minutes, every second-tier planet had heard. Su Lin didn't look back. Su Lin kept his head down and walked toward the mirror of 1,000 faces. Su Lin found out later what happened elsewhere. Shui was in her room staring at his message, heart pounding. She'd expected maybe an hour, 5 times faster than the record. Instead, he was nearly 70 times faster. She laughed until she cried. Not from joy, but from fear at how insanely strong the result was. She knew every eye in the universe would be hunting for Wolf Shadow now. At the Sirius Star quarters across the city, Wolf Yinxiao was lounging in a chair drinking wine, tormenting a young blood flame star slave girl who looked a little like Zuowei. Then a scout burst in with the news. When Wolf Yinxiao saw his own planet's name on the leaderboard next to a time that shouldn't be humanly possible, his face went white. He checked their roster. No one named Wolf Shadow existed in Sirius Star. He immediately suspected someone was framing them. He told everyone to keep quiet and rushed off to find his father. Meanwhile, he just kept walking. Every second counted. Su Lin didn't see any of this himself. Su Lin was already pushing through the crowd toward the mirror of 1,000 faces. But he found out later what was happening across Origin Star while he walked. On the Sirius Star home planet, the Wolf King was in his throne room bullying some vassal planet's ambassador, when a guard burst in with the news. The Wolf King looked at the leaderboard and froze. He understood immediately what it meant. A 4-minute clear time wasn't just talent. It was a monster, the kind that could help a planet rise from 2nd tier to 3rd tier, and this monster was labeled as one of his people. But he knew Sirius Star had no one named Wolf Shadow. His first thought was that someone was framing them. But who could fake a result on Origin Star's leaderboard? The rules there were absolute. Even level 200 warriors couldn't change a single word on it. So this Wolf Shadow had to be real. Someone really did clear it in under 5 minutes. Someone was deliberately pinning it on Sirius Star. Then the Wolf King remembered something. 10 years ago, he personally killed Bloodflame Star's queen and prince. He remembered a 10-year-old girl standing in the ruins covered in blood staring at him with eyes he never forgot. Shua Wei. He shivered. Could it be her? No. How could a planet ranked past 1,000 produce a talent like this? But if not her, then who? He ordered his people to dig up everything on Wolf Shadow and to put spies on Bloodflame Star. Every tiny movement watched. Meanwhile, at the Star Planet quarters in the city center district, the previous record holder, Starfall, was kneeling before his mother, the Star Mother, ruler of Star Planet, level 199. She was cold as ice. Starfall had used a treasure called the Celestial Eye to set his record, a rule-level item that lets you see brief glimpses of the future. That's how he'd picked correctly at each fork. It took him over 5 hours because the eye needed time to activate and interpret each vision. But Wolf Shadow did it in under 5 minutes. The Star Mother calculated it out. Less than 3 seconds per fork. No hesitation, no pausing, no thinking at all. She said either this person had something stronger than the Celestial Eye, or their luck was impossibly unnaturally good. She gave her orders, find Wolf Shadow, bring him in alive, and if someone else found him first, kill him. All across Origin Star, the hunt was beginning. And he was just walking through the crowd with his head down, trying to reach the next rift before anyone figured out who he really was. Su Lin was already gone, pushing through the crowd toward his next target, but he learned later just how much chaos those 3 words, Wolf Shadow, for minutes 52 seconds, caused across every major planet. At the Holy Light Star quarters, their number 1 genius, Saint Tianjiao, was staring at the leaderboard. He'd cleared the fraud maze in 6 hours and thought he was incredible. Now he couldn't even match a fraction of Wolf Shadow's time. His father, the Holy Light Emperor at level 199, told him this person was 10,000 times stronger than him. He said either Wolf Shadow could see correct answers directly, or his luck had gone beyond the rules themselves. The Emperor called this person the variable their planet had been waiting tens of thousands of years for. His orders, find him at any cost. If someone else finds him first, kill him. At the Taishu Star quarters, their genius Tai was sitting meditating in a dark room. He didn't even need a screen to know what happened. He calculated it out cold. The odds of guessing correctly 99 times in a row were 1 in 2 to the power of 99. That number is smaller than the total atoms in the universe. He concluded it had to be luck, and luck itself was a talent beyond understanding. His master gave the same order, find him or kill him. At the Dark Abyss Star quarters underground, their guy had taken over 43 hours to clear the same maze. A pale hand reached out of black fog and choked him, calling him trash. Same orders, find Wolf Shadow, bring him back alive. The only different reaction came from Chaos Star. Their genius Chaos Sun heard the news, smoked a cigarette, and said, interesting. Then he got up to leave. When his master asked where he was going, he said he wanted to find this person, not to fight or steal, but to make friends. Someone this strong was too valuable to make into an enemy. Back at the plaza, the crowd was still going crazy. People were searching Sirius Star's roster and finding nothing. No one named Wolf Shadow existed. Every planet's leader was sending out messages. The hunt was on, and he was just walking quietly through all of it, invisible, heading to his next rift. Every major planet issued orders at almost the same time. Holy Light Star, Star Planet, Taichu Star, Dark Abyss Star, Chaos Star. All of them commanded their people to find Wolf Shadow. Rewards, promotions, whatever it took. It wasn't just the top 10 either. Practically every planet sent out the same kind of message. The crowd around him went from excited to tense. This wasn't people watching a show anymore. Everyone's communication stones lit up at once. Suddenly, every single person in the plaza had a mission, find Wolf Shadow. Su Lin found out later what happened at Sirius Star. Representatives from every top planet showed up at their headquarters, at least 5 level 150 warriors from each. They surrounded the place. The Wolf King stood at the door, face pale, his people gripping their weapons, but not daring to move. Any one of these groups could crush Sirius Star alone. They demanded he hand over Wolf Shadow. He told them the truth, Sirius Star had no such person. He said it was a setup. They laughed in his face. Origin Star system hadn't made an error in tens of millions of years, and he expected them to believe someone faked it. Deep down, some of them probably knew it could be fake, but they'd rather destroy an insignificant planet than risk missing even the smallest chance of finding this person. The Holy Light Star Elder gave him one day, hand over Wolf Shadow, alive or dead. If he couldn't, Sirius Star would be removed from the second-tier planet rankings entirely. After they left, the Wolf King collapsed to his knees in his own hallway, shaking, grinding his teeth, begging his people to find out who was doing this to them. Meanwhile, he was walking through the plaza. People all around him were discussing Wolf Shadow, scanning every face nearby, looking for anyone suspicious. Someone pointed at a guy in black walking with his head down. Turned out he was just from Dark Abyss Star. Su Lin kept his head low, his pace steady. Su Lin looked like the most ordinary level 20 nobody, no badge, no features worth remembering. Half the people in the plaza were level 20, who would notice one more, but he could feel the stares. Hundreds of eyes sweeping across everyone like searchlights. A Holy Light Star warrior glanced at him for about half a second. Su Lin met his eyes briefly, then looked away and kept walking. His gaze lingered on him for one more second, then moved on. Su Lin kept going. About 300 meters ahead, he saw a group of people blocking the path, stopping and questioning everyone trying to pass through. Up ahead, they'd set up a checkpoint. About a dozen warriors from Holy Light Star, Star Planet, and Taishu Star, all level 150 or above, were stopping and questioning everyone passing through. Su Lin got in line, 7 or 8 people ahead of him. Su Lin watched them go one by one. A Holy Light Star guy cleared. A Star Planet person cleared. A Dark Abyss Star kid got a couple extra questions, but passed through too. Then it was his turn. A Holy Light Star Elder stood in front of him, level 150, he sharp like a hawk. Which planet? Celestial Abyss Star, he said calmly. It was a planet ranked around 200th. Shu Wei had taught him about it beforehand. Unremarkable, not strong or weak, and its people looked similar to him. Most importantly, it was far from Blood Flame Star. Nobody would connect the two. He looked him up and down, asked what he was doing here. Su Lin told him he was clearing rifts. He asked which one. Su Lin said the Mirror of a Thousand Faces. He stared at him for 3 seconds, those eyes trying to see right through him. Su Lin didn't flinch, breathing steady, eyes forward. He waved him through. Su Lin kept walking at the same pace until he reached the Mirror of a Thousand Faces teleportation gate. Su Lin let out a long breath and stepped through. Inside, he was standing in a hall of mirrors. Mirrors on the floor, the ceiling, every wall. 1,000 reflections of him stared back from every direction. The mechanical voice explained the rules. 1,000 mirror copies of him were hiding in 1,000 mirrors. Only one was real. Find it and kill it to clear the rift. Pick wrong and the fake one attacks you. Every time you kill a fake, all the remaining copies double in strength. Kill one wrong, the rest double. Kill 2 wrong, they double again. After 10 mistakes, they'd be over 1,000 times stronger. After 20, 1,000,000 times. Even he couldn't fight 2 to the 999th power. But then he remembered, this was basically made for him. Fate's favor. Any random event shifts in his favor, so he just pointed at a random mirror. The third one on the left. No reason, no clue, no thinking. Just picked one. The figure inside the mirror stepped out. It looked exactly like him. Same height, same clothes, same face. Su Lin punched it. 1 hit. The damage number was absurd. The mirror copy shattered like glass, pieces scattering across the floor. The voice announced it. He had found the real one. First try out of 1,000. Time, 2 minutes 3 seconds. Old record, 7 hours 12 minutes. His score triple S. The system said it couldn't even describe his rating in words. The reward's the 1,000 illusion mask. It could change his face, body shape, level, energy signature, and ability wavelength. With his score, it could fool anyone level 200 and below. Su Lin used the Mask of Deception first to set the leaderboard info to Wolf Shadow from Sirius Star again. Then he put on the 1,000 illusion mask. It melted into his skin like cool water and disappeared. Su Lin changed his face instantly into a completely different person. Su Lin gave himself a vertical third eye, which was a feature unique to Holy Light Star's people. Shui had told him about this ahead of time. With this face, if anyone stopped him again, they'd be less likely to question someone who looked like they belonged to the #1 ranked planet. Su Lin stepped out of the Mirror of a Thousand Faces and back into the plaza. Within 10 steps, the crystal board behind him updated again. First place Mirror of a Thousand Faces, Sirius Star Wolf Shadow, 2 minutes 3 seconds. Old record, 7 hours 12 minutes. The plaza exploded even harder than before. People were screaming. 2 rifts in a row, both smashed by the same person with impossible times. Everyone started scanning every face around them. Anyone who looked level 20 was getting grabbed, stopped, questioned. Some people were surrounded and couldn't move. Su Lin didn't look back. His disguise was doing its job. The vertical third eye on his forehead made him look like a Holy Light Star member. Nobody messes with the #1 planet's people. About 2 kilometers ahead, there was another checkpoint. This one was much bigger, over 100 warriors, all level 100 and up from every top 10 planet. They'd completely blocked the street. Su Lin got in line. When it was his turn, the Holy Light Star Elder saw his third eye and asked if he was from Holy Light Star. Su Lin said yes, gave a fake name Shangguan Lin. He looked him over, checked his level 20 badge, then he let him through. But then he called him back. His heart tightened. Your third eye, it's a bit smaller than most Holy Light Star people's. Kept his face completely calm. Born that way, he said. He stared at him for a few seconds, then waved him on. Su Lin walked away at the same steady pace. It wasn't until he was 50 meters away that he realized his back was soaked with sweat. If he'd caught him, he would be dead. Su Lin pulled out the blood flame stone and contacted Zhu Wei. She could barely believe the mirror of 1,000 faces time either. She told him to hurry to the third rift, the Void Corridor, ranked 19th in difficulty. She said he had to clear it fast and explained why the reward mattered. If his score was high enough, he would get a long-range teleportation skill that could send him straight back to the Blood Flame Star quarters. With the whole plaza crawling with searchers, that might be his only way out. If he couldn't get it, he would have to rely on acting skills to escape. She told him to be careful, then she cut off. Su Lin reached gate 219, the Void Corridor, current record held by Saint Tian Jiao from Holy Light Star at 9 hours 47 minutes. Fewer people were lined up here. Not many dared to attempt a top 20 rift. A few people glanced at him, saw his Holy Light Star face and looked away immediately. No questions. Su Lin stepped through. Inside was pure emptiness, no ground, no sky, just darkness in every direction with distant specks of light like far-off stars. The mechanical voice explained, 12,000 void beasts were hiding in this space. Kill them all to clear the rift. They wouldn't attack. They'd run, hide, turn invisible. Some hid in space cracks, some in dimensional gaps, some even folded themselves into two-dimensional shapes and stuck to your body where you'd never notice them. Su Lin had 72 hours. After that, they'd go berserk and double in number, finding 12,000 creatures one by one in infinite darkness. That would take forever. But he didn't need to find them. Su Lin activated his taunt skill, Ice Corpse Rage Taunt. The taunt worked perfectly. Every void beast in the entire space reacted at once. Countless blood-red eyes lit up in every direction, from space cracks, dimensional gaps, even flat two-dimensional hiding spots. They all unfolded and came rushing at him like a tidal wave. Thousands of lizard-like creatures, each 3 meters long with see-through scales and mouths full of jagged teeth. They swarmed him, biting his arms, legs, neck, everywhere. Each bite did 10 million damage, but his reflectability bounced it right back, blowing their mouths apart. And 10 million damage to him. His health was over 6,000 quintillion, and he regenerated 100% every second. Their attacks weren't even a rounding error. Su Lin stood still for about a minute, letting them all pile onto him. Once he was sure every single one was within 50 meters, he activated Blood Sacrifice. Spent 10% of his health to deal 200% damage to everything within range. Every void beast died instantly. All 12,000. One move, time, 2 minutes 47 seconds. Old record, 9 hours 47 minutes. Score, triple S again. The reward was exactly what he needed, Void Shuttle, an active teleportation skill. Instant transport to any location within 1,000 kilometers, usable in combat, 1 hour cooldown. That meant he could teleport straight back to his room at the Blood Flame Star quarters whenever he wanted. Su Lin had his escape route. Su Lin stepped out of the gate still wearing his Holy Light Star disguise. Nobody bothered him, but things had changed. The entire plaza, thousands of kilometers wide, had been sealed off. Every top 50 planet had sent at least 100 warriors, all level 100 and above, blocking every exit. Tens of millions of awakeners were trapped inside. Nobody could leave. Nobody was allowed to enter any more rifts, either. A Holy Light Star Elder announced it from a high point. Until Wolf Shadow was found, no one leaves. Someone shouted back asking what gave them the right. The Elder said, because they're ranked first, and asked if anyone wanted to challenge that. Nobody did. Then the crystal board lit up behind him with a third update. Void Corridor, first place, Sirius Star, Wolf Shadow. 2 minutes, 47 seconds. The plaza lost its mind completely. 3 rifts, 3 impossible records, all the same name. People started grabbing each other, questioning everyone. Some poor guys got surrounded by mobs, but nobody touched him. His Holy Light Star face was the perfect shield. Their own people glanced at him, saw one of their own, and moved on to search someone else. Su Lin stood in the crowd calmly. Su Lin had void shuttle ready. Su Lin could leave anytime he wanted. Su Lin was planning to hit another rift since he could teleport away if things got bad. Then the blood flame stone heated up. It was Shu Wei. She asked about his teleportation range. When he told her 1,000 kilometers, she went quiet. Then she told him the previous record holder only got 10 kilometers. She took a few deep breaths and said she had a plan, one she hadn't expected to use, but his teleportation range made it low risk for him. First, she wanted him to go west to gate 218, a rift called Afterlife Fragments, ranked 18th. Clearing it would give him the ability to read the memories of recently dead awakeners. The better the score, the longer the memory reach, maybe even a dead person's entire lifetime. She said this skill combined with his 1,000 illusion mask would help him disguise himself better in the future. But that wasn't the real plan. The real plan was to put on a show. She needed him to transform into a serious star person. Silver white hair, narrow upturned eyes, pale skin, tall build, and most importantly, the silver wolf totem on his forehead. Then he was supposed to stand near the gate looking nervous. When patrol groups came by and questioned him, he should act scared, shifty eyes, stuttering, shaking hands. Let them suspect him. When they pressed harder, he had suddenly dropped the act, get angry, and shout loud enough for the whole plaza to hear. Yes, he was Wolf Shadow. Then he would threaten them. Tell them he would remember what these top 10 planets were doing to Sirius Star, and that once he was strong enough, he would destroy them all. After that, he would walk into the rift right in front of them. When he came out with another record-breaking time, they'd be completely convinced Wolf Shadow was real and from Sirius Star. Then he would let them see him for a moment and teleport straight back to the Blood Flame Star quarters, vanishing before their eyes. Sirius Star would never be able to clear their name after that. Her breathing was heavy through the stone, 10 years of hatred pouring out. Su Lin told her he would do it. They were on the same ship now. Su Lin headed west. The plaza was still chaos. Tens of millions of people crammed together. The top planet's warriors shoving people around, slapping anyone who resisted. Nobody looked at him twice with his holy light star face. Su Lin reached gate 218 and stopped near a stone pillar. Then he started changing. His vertical eye disappeared. His hair turned silver white and grew long. His eyes narrowed and tilted upward. His skin went pale. Su Lin grew a couple centimeters taller. Finally, a silver wolf totem appeared on his forehead, teeth bared, fierce and lifelike. A perfect Sirius Star warrior. Su Lin leaned against the pillar with his hands in his pockets, head down, looking like he was waiting for someone. About 3 minutes later, a patrol group came through, 7 or 8 warriors, all level 100 and above from Holy Light Star, Star Planet, Taichu Star, and others. The leader was a level 120 Holy Light Star guy with a furious expression. He walked past him and stopped, turned back, stared at him. You, which planet? Su Lin started his act. When the patrol leader asked which planet he was from, he let his eyes dart away. Su Lin pulled his hands out of his pockets, clenched and unclenched them. Su Lin swallowed hard. Su Lin did not, his voice shook perfectly. His eyes narrowed. The others crowded around. One of them spotted the silver wolf totem on his forehead and shouted that he was from Sirius Star. Su Lin backed up a step and stammered that he wasn't. Then what's that on your forehead? Su Lin covered it with his hand, but too late. Their eyes lit up with excitement. Found you. Are you Wolf Shadow? Su Lin pressed his back against the stone pillar, trembling, shaking his head. They laughed at how nervous he looked. Meanwhile, the crowd swelled. Thousands, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands of people flooding in from every direction to see what was happening. The Holy Light Star leader stood in front of him, arms crossed, looking down. Last time he was asking, "Are you Wolf Shadow?" Su Lin lifted his head. Su Lin let the fear drain out of his eyes and replaced it with something cold. Yes, one word. Quiet but steady. The whole plaza went silent. Su Lin straightened up, no more shaking, no more cowering. Su Lin stood tall, silver hair blowing in the wind, the wolf totem gleaming on his forehead. He was Wolf Shadow, the frog maze, the mirror of 1,000 faces, the void corridor. Su Lin cleared all 3. Dead silence. Tens of millions of people, not a single sound. Then he gave them the speech Zhu Wei wanted. Su Lin pointed at the top 10 planets' warriors and asked why they got to stand above everyone else. Why couldn't Sirius Star rise up? They were a second-tier planet, too. Their blood was red, just like theirs. Su Lin looked at each group one by one. Holy Light Star, Star Planet, Taichu Star, Dark Abyss Star, Chaos Star. Everything you've done to Sirius Star, he had remembered it all. Su Lin paused. Once he grows strong enough, the top 10 planets are first on his list. Not a single one of you will be spared. Then he turned and walked toward gate 218. Nobody moved. They were all frozen. At the gate, he looked back one last time. Remember his name, Wolf Shadow, Sirius Star Wolf Shadow. Su Lin stepped through the light. Behind him, it took 3 full seconds before anyone reacted. Then chaos. The Holy Light Star leader screamed to chase him, but someone reminded him it was a level 20 rift. His level 120 couldn't enter. Others scrambled for their communication stones, contacting their planet leaders. Star Planet's people were shaking. Taichu Star stayed calm and sent a single short message. Dark Abyss Star vanished into the shadows. Chaos Star's guy just grinned and told his boss that the kid was pretty wild. Said he'd kill all 10 top planets, leave no one standing. The news spread everywhere in minutes. 3 rifts, 3 shattered records, and now a face, a name, and a declaration of war against the 10 most powerful planets. All from a supposed Sirius Star warrior. When the report reached the Wolf King back on Sirius Star, he was already falling apart from the morning's ultimatum. Then his scout burst in to tell him Wolf Shadow had been found, that he'd admitted everything publicly, claimed to be from Sirius Star, and threatened to destroy the top 10 planets. Things were about to get much worse for Sirius Star, and none of it had anything to do with them. Back on Sirius Star, the Wolf King collapsed to his knees when he heard the news. His son Wolf Yinshao stood next to him, white as a sheet. The Wolf King said it was over. It didn't matter if Wolf Shadow was real or fake. He'd admitted it in front of hundreds of thousands of people, claimed to be from Sirius Star, and threatened to kill the top 10 planets. Those planets wouldn't care about the truth. They'd wipe out Sirius Star just to be safe. Better to kill 1,000 by mistake than let one threat slip by. The Wolf King screamed at the sky, demanding to know who was destroying them. Meanwhile, outside Gate 218 on Origin Star, every major planet had stationed their warriors, at least 50 level 100 fighters from each, surrounding the exit completely. Holy Light Star wanted him alive. Star Planet wanted him alive. Taichu Star positioned themselves right at the exit for the best angle. Dark Abyss Star hid in the shadows. Only Chaos Star was different. Their leader had sent a message saying, "Don't grab him. Let him go." The guy just stood in the back laughing. They were all waiting for him to come out. Inside the rift, he stood in a gray empty space, filled with 12,800 floating memory fragments, each one containing an entire person's lifetime of memories. The rules were simple. Absorb at least 10 fragments without losing yourself and you pass. Absorb all 12,800, and you get the ultimate reward, the Eyes of Rebirth, which lets you see a person's complete past. The danger was real. Other people's memories flood into your mind and can make you forget who you are. 10 could drive you crazy. 100 could turn you into a vegetable. 12,800 should be impossible, but he had a trick nobody else did. His clone ability, Twin Body. His clone was back on Blue Star in a rented room. His soul could move freely between his main body and his clone. So he pulled his soul out of his main body, leaving it as an empty shell, eyes open but nobody home. Then from his clone on Blue Star, he remotely controlled his main body like a puppet. Su Lin walked the empty shell over to the first memory fragment and touched it. The memories exploded into his main body's brain, but there was no consciousness there to affect. Su Lin checked from his clone's side. Nothing. No interference. No confusion. No risk of losing himself. Su Lin smiled. Then he moved the puppet to the second fragment. Su Lin kept going. Third fragment, 10th, 50th, 100th, 500th. His soul stayed in his clone on Blue Star while he puppeted his main body from fragment to fragment. The memories poured into the empty shell. Births, battles, deaths, entire lifetimes. But with no consciousness inside, nothing stuck. Like wind blowing through an empty room. 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. All 12,800. When the last one was absorbed, he pulled his soul back into his main body. His eyes came alive again. Su Lin was drenched in sweat and his legs were numb from standing so long, but his mind was perfectly clear. None of those memories had touched him. The system announced his results. Original record, 102 fragments. His record, 12,800. The reward was the Eyes of Rebirth, the ability to read every single memory from an awakener's entire life, from birth to death, as long as they died within the last hour. Not 1 year of memories, an entire lifetime. Combined with his 1,000 illusion mask, he could become anyone perfectly. Su Lin walked out of the gate. The scene outside was terrifying. Thousands of warriors from every top planet had surrounded the exit in 3 layers. Holy Light Star on the left, Star Planet on the right, Taichu Star directly ahead, Dark Abyss Star hiding in shadows, Chaos Star blocking the rear. All level 100 and above. Millions of spectators behind them. The Holy Light Star Elder stepped forward and told him he couldn't escape. The Holy Light Elder claimed their Star Lord wanted to see him, but Su Lin only smiled because he still had a choice and immediately activated Void Shuttle. Silver-white light exploded from his body like a small sun. Everyone instinctively shut their eyes. When they opened them, he was gone. Just a scorched crater where he had been standing. The plaza erupted. People screaming, searching, arguing. The Holy Light Star Elder was shaking, ordering a search within 100 miles. Star Planet's leader split her people into 10 groups to chase in every direction. They assumed his teleportation couldn't be that far. The previous record holder only got 10 kilometers, but he had gone 1,000. Su Lin appeared in his room at the Blood Flame Star quarters. Second floor, left side, third door. Chair still there, curtains drawn. His heart was pounding. His hands were shaking, just adrenaline wearing off. But he was safe. The door slammed open. Shuei burst in wearing a wrinkled white nightgown. Hair a mess, feet in slippers. Her eyes were red and full of tears. She stopped in front of him and stared. "You did it," she said, voice trembling. "You actually did it." Then she threw herself at him and hugged him as tight as she could, face buried in his chest, her whole body shaking. She held on for a long time. When he looked down, his shirt was soaked. She was crying silently, tears just streaming out. Su Lin waited 10 years, she said, muffled against his chest. She looked up at him. Her face was a mess. Tears streaked, eyes swollen, nose red, but she was smiling. A real smile. "You did it. You really did it." Su Lin looked at her and nodded. "Yeah." Zhuwei let go of him and turned around to wipe her tears. She told him not to read too much into the hug. She was just happy. Then she asked if he was hungry and wanted to get him food. She came back with a big bowl of noodles and white broth with meat and scallions. It was good. She sat across from him watching him eat with a small smile, and proudly said she made it herself. Then she admitted the kitchen made it, and she just carried it over. Su Lin almost smiled. Su Lin found out later what was happening while he ate. On Origin Star, tens of millions of people were still searching for him. Level 100 warriors spread out across hundreds of kilometers, turning over every inch of ground. They found nothing. The Holy Light Emperor figured out that he must have gotten a much longer teleportation range than the normal 10 kilometers from the Void Corridor. He ordered all his people into a full search and told them to contact the other 9 top planets. It was time to go to Sirius Star again. This time it was much worse for the Wolf King. Over 1,000 warriors showed up at his palace. At least 200 level 155 fighters from each of the top 10 planets. They surrounded the entire building. The Holy Light Star Grand Elder, Shang Xian, level 193, asked one word: "Where is he?" The Wolf King swore on every past ruler of Sirius Star that Wolf Shadow didn't exist. He begged them to believe it was a setup. Nobody cared. They forced him to his knees with the pressure of a level 193 warrior. It cracked the stone floor under him. His fingernails broke and bled as he clawed at the ground, but he couldn't move. Then they searched his palace. 1,000 warriors tore through every room. Doors kicked in, walls smashed open. Sirius Star guards who tried to stop them got slapped away. The royal consorts screamed and were dragged back by their hair. They searched the basement, every hidden room, every corner. The Wolf King knelt in his own throne room listening to the sounds of his home being destroyed, crashing doors, screaming, crying. Tears dripped onto the cracked stone beneath him. He was the ruler of Sirius Star, level 191, master of hundreds of resource planets. And now he knelt in his own palace like a dog. They searched for 3 full hours and they found nothing because there was nothing to find. Su Lin learned all of this later. But here's what happened to Sirius Star after he escaped. They searched the entire Wolf King's palace. Every stone tile pried up, every wall knocked open, even the toilets checked. Nothing. No Wolf Shadow anywhere. The 5 Grand Elders from the top planets stood in the throne room, furious. Holy Light Star Shang Xian, level 193. Star Planet Xing Yao, level 192. Taichu Stars Tai Su, level 192. Dark Abyss Star and Chaos Star's leaders too. All empty-handed. They demanded the Wolf King hand over Wolf Shadow. He kept begging, crying, swearing he didn't have this person. He tried to fight back once, releasing his level 191 pressure. It lasted about 1 second before 5 stronger forces slammed down on him from 5 directions, all above his level. His knees cracked the stone floor again. His face was pushed almost to the ground. He pleaded that Sirius Star was a second-tier planet with rule protection. Zheng Yao laughed and said the top 10 planets were the rules. Then they sealed the entire planet. All 5 elders raised their hands and combined their power. Gold, silver, gray, black, and blood-red light wove together into a massive barrier called the 5-Direction Seal, a prison-level cage. Nobody inside could leave. Nobody outside could enter. Billions of Sirius Star people were trapped. Shang Xian told the Wolf King it would stay sealed until Wolf Shadow appeared. If he showed up, they'd live. If he didn't, they'd all die inside. Then all 5 elders left. Inside the barrier, the Wolf King knelt at his palace door, blood seeping from his knees. His son Wolf Yin Xiao crawled over, shaking, crying, screaming at him to say something. Then Yin Xiao turned toward the barrier and screamed for Wolf Shadow to come out, begging, cursing. Nobody answered. Finally, the Wolf King spoke quietly. He said someone was trying to destroy them, someone with a deep grudge. His mind went back 10 years to the day he attacked Bloodflame Star, killed the queen and prince himself, and left the king half dead. He remembered a 10-year-old girl standing in the ruins, covered in blood, staring at him. He shivered. Could it be her? No, impossible. A trash planet ranked past 1000 couldn't produce this kind of genius or pull off something like this. But if not her, then who? He closed his eyes and muttered through clenched teeth, "Whoever you are, don't let him find you." Meanwhile, he was in his room at the Bloodflame Star quarters eating noodles. When the news came that Sirius Star had been sealed instead of destroyed, Zhu Wei froze mid-bite. Her spoon dropped into her porridge bowl. She'd miscalculated. She expected the top planets to crush Sirius Star like an ant. Instead, they caged them and waited for Wolf Shadow to show himself. She told him what this meant. They were actually scared. His performance was so extreme that they genuinely believed Wolf Shadow could grow powerful enough to destroy them. So, instead of their usual brute force approach, they were being strategic for once. They'd never needed strategy before because nobody had ever threatened them. But there was a problem. If Wolf Shadow never appeared, they'd start wondering if he was really from Sirius Star at all. They'd investigate who had a grudge against Sirius Star. They'd find Bloodflame Star. They'd find out about the war 10 years ago, the dead queen and prince. They might suspect them. And the top planets didn't need proof. Just suspicion was enough to seal or destroy Bloodflame Star too. So he couldn't just hide forever. Su needed to make them believe harder that Wolf Shadow was truly from Sirius Star. Shu Wei's plan, ambush Santianjia, Holy Light Star's greatest genius. He was level 60 with double-triple S abilities. Zhu Wei still believed Su Lin could not defeat the opponent directly, because his earlier attack had been delivered while he wore the silver-haired Sirius Star disguise. Hurt him badly, but not kill him. Then shout a warning, release Sirius Star's people, or next time he kill him. Then teleport away before anyone could catch him. This would prove Wolf Shadow was real, that he genuinely hated the top planets, and that he truly was fighting for Sirius Star. It would take suspicion away from Bloodflame Star. She reminded him that as long as his Void Shuttle wasn't on cooldown, nobody could catch him. The risk was almost zero. After she left, he sat in his room and pulled up his status panel. Level 20 health at 6,002 quintillion. Full 100% regeneration per second, 100% damage reflection, Fate's Favor, a dozen active skills including Blood Sacrifice, Void Shuttle at 1,000 kilometers, Shadow Step for invisibility, Time-slowing fields, Ice Coffin seals, Shadow Chains, Space-cutting attacks, the Eyes of Rebirth for reading dead people's memories, plus the Mask of Deception and 1,000 Illusion Mask. Su Lin looked out the window at the floating palaces of the top 10 planets in the distance. Then he started planning. Su Lin closed his panel and headed out, changed his face to something completely ordinary. Plain black hair, plain eyes, average height. Nobody would look twice. It took about 40 minutes to reach the Holy Light Star quarters. The building was impossible to miss. Solid gold towering into the sky with a massive glowing orb floating at the top that lit up the whole area like daylight. 20 level 100 guards stood at the entrance in golden armor with golden spears, scanning everyone who walked by. Su Lin kept walking past, turned into a narrow alley about 500 meters away, and contacted Shu Wei through the blood flame stone. She told him to use stealth, enter from the side, find Saint Tianjiao on the top floor, hurt him badly, but not kill him, then run. She stressed it twice. Don't kill him or Holy Light Star would go berserk and everyone would suffer. But don't go too light either. Hit him hard enough to make them hurt and afraid. Su Lin put the stone away and transformed. Silver white hair down to his shoulders, narrow upturned eyes, pale skin, taller frame, and the silver wolf totem on his forehead. Then he activated Shadow Step. Su Lin vanished completely. No footsteps, no breathing sounds, nothing. Su Lin had 10 minutes of invisibility. Su Lin jumped over the tenem wall without a sound and landed in their garden. Nobody was around. Everyone was out searching for Wolf Shadow. Su Lin walked through the golden hallways, past disciples chatting and reading, up floor after floor. Guards stood at every level. Su Lin walked right between two level 100 guards on the 6th floor. They didn't blink. Top floor. One golden door, unlocked. Inside was a huge room. Bed, desk, chair, all gold. A painting of the Holy Light Emperor hung on the wall. Saint Tianjiao stood at the window with his back to him. Golden hair, golden armor, tall and broad-shouldered, standing perfectly straight. Su Lin took one step. Nothing. Another step. Nothing. On the third step, he suddenly turned around and stared right at his direction. Oh, he didn't hesitate. Su Lin burst out of stealth and lunged at him, silver hair flying, wolf totem gleaming. His eyes went wide. You. Su Lin punched him square in the chest. Su Lin held back on purpose, only about 100 billion damage. He had estimated his health was somewhere between 100 billion and 200 billion. He flew backward like a cannonball, through one wall, through the next room, through another wall. He smashed through 4 walls before getting embedded in the 5th one. Blood sprayed from his mouth. His chest was caved in. His eyes were huge with shock as he stared at him. Your wolf shadow. Su Lin looked at Saint Tianjiao embedded in the wall, blood pouring from his mouth, and spoke calmly. Tell your father, release Sirius Star's people. Otherwise next time he won't just hurt you, he would kill you. His face went white. Su Lin activated Void Shuttle. Silver light exploded around him, and he was gone. By the time the guards rushed in, all that was left was a scorched crater on the floor. Su Lin landed back in his room at the Blood Flame Star quarters. The silver hair was already fading back to black, the wolf totem melting away from his forehead. Su Lin took a couple of deep breaths. His heart was beating fast, but it settled quickly. Su Lin found out later what happened after he left. The guards found Saint Tianjiao stuck in the wall with his chest caved in, ribs broken, internal organs probably damaged. They panicked. The defense barrier hadn't gone off. The doors hadn't opened. Nobody had seen anything. It was like a ghost walked in, punched their strongest genius through 4 walls and vanished. They called Grand Elder Xiang Xian. When he arrived, his level 193 pressure filled the room and forced every guard to their knees. He was completely calm, no anger, no worry, just ice-cold focus. He checked Saint Tianjiao's injuries, healed him a little with golden light, then asked what happened. Saint Tianjiao repeated his words, release Sirius Star's people, or next time Wolf Shadow would kill him. The room went dead silent. Shen Jian said the name slowly, quietly, like grinding it between his teeth. Wolf Shadow. Sirius Star Wolf Shadow. He ordered the scene locked down, extra guards on Saint Tianjiao around the clock, and told them to notify all 9 other top planets. Wolf Shadow had appeared again. Back in his room, Zhu Wei burst through the door in her wrinkled nightgown and slippers. Her face was flushed, eyes bright. She asked if he hit him. Su Lin said yes. She asked how badly. Su Lin told her chest caved in, multiple broken ribs, probably internal organ damage. She asked if he delivered the message. Su Lin repeated it for her, tell your father release Sirius Star's people, or next time he would kill you. She stared at him for 3 seconds. Then she smiled until tears ran down her face. Good, she said, her voice shaking. This is perfect. They shouldn't suspect Blood Flame Star now. The news about his attack on Saint Tianjiao spread across every planet within 10 minutes. Their greatest genius, level 60 double triple S abilities, wearing top-tier armor, taken down by a single punch in his own room. The details made it even worse for them. One person, alone, walked through over 100 guards without being detected, punched their pride through 4 walls, delivered a threat, and vanished. Each top planet reacted differently. Star Planet's leader Sheng Yao did the math. If someone could walk into Holy Light Star's heavily guarded base like it was nothing, her people couldn't catch him either. She ordered everyone to stay on alert, but told them not to try to capture Wolf Shadow. Just report if they saw him. Taishu Star's elder Tai Shu barely reacted. He said Saint Tianjiao getting beat up was Holy Light Star's problem, not theirs. He'd just wait for Wolf Shadow to make a mistake. Dark Abyss Star actually pulled all their people back. Their leader found it entertaining. Holy Light Star getting humiliated. He told his people to stop searching and just watch the show. Let Holy Light Star go crazy chasing Wolf Shadow on their own. Chaos Star's genius Chaos Sun just smoked his cigarette, laughed, and said the same thing he always said, interesting. He told his people to do nothing and watch how Holy Light Star handled it. Inside the sealed barrier on Sirius Star, the Wolf King was still kneeling on the broken stone floor where he'd been for hours. His knees were bleeding. His son Wolf Yin Xiao was slumped beside him, voice gone from crying, eyes swollen shut, asking if they were really gonna die here. Then Xiang Xian appeared outside the barrier. He was furious now. Wolf Shadow had just attacked his own planet's heir. He told the Wolf King what happened and demanded once more to know where Wolf Shadow was. The Wolf King dragged himself to his feet on shaking legs and screamed that he didn't know. He'd said it 100 times already. Sirius Star had no Wolf Shadow. Xiang Xian asked him again, cold and slow, where is Wolf Shadow? And the Wolf King had no answer. Because there was no answer to give. The person they were all hunting was sitting safely in a small room on the east side of the city, in the Blood Flame Star quarters with a bowl of noodles. Su Lin wasn't there for any of this. Su Lin only found out later what happened inside that sealed barrier on Sirius Star. It was bad. Xiang Xian came back to interrogate the Wolf King again. The Wolf King hadn't eaten or slept in 3 days. He looked half dead already. Cracked lips, sunken eyes, filthy and broken. When he still couldn't produce wolf shadow, Shang Xian broke his right arm with golden light. Snapped the bone in half, the white edges poking through the skin. The Wolf King didn't scream. So Shang Xian went after his son. They dragged Wolf Yin Xiao in and broke his arms one at a time while his father watched. Yin Xiao screamed until he didn't sound human anymore. Begging, crying, swearing he didn't know anything. The Wolf King offered his own life in exchange for his son's safety. Shang Xian didn't care. It went on all day, from morning until night. They brought in generals, ministers, princes, princesses, one after another, broke their limbs. Some passed out and got woken up with cold water. Some went insane. Every single one said the same thing. They didn't know who Wolf Shadow was. Because it was true. They really didn't. By nightfall, the throne room floor was covered in blood. The Wolf King lay face down with all 4 limbs twisted at wrong angles. Wolf Yin Xiao lay beside him, both arms shattered from the shoulders down. Fingers broken, knees crushed. He was 20 years old. A year ago he'd been strutting around Origin Star in shiny armor, bullying Zhu Wei. Now he looked like a broken dog. Their general, level 188, lay with a cloth stuffed in his mouth, all limbs broken. Clawing at the stone floor with bleeding fingernails. Their prime minister had lost his mind. Entirely. Curled up in a corner, muttering that he wasn't from Sirius Star, begging not to be killed until he suddenly went silent and stared at nothing with empty eyes. The eldest prince knelt in the blood, hair ripped from his scalp, one eye swollen shut, asking his father if they were truly finished. Shang Xian left one order before walking out. Keep the barrier up. 1 month, 2 months, a year, 2 years, however long it took. Don't let any of them die. Let them suffer 1,000 times worse than what Wolf Shadow did to Saint Tianjiao. Then the hall went quiet. Moonlight came through the broken ceiling and fell on all those broken people lying in pools of blood. And he was the reason for all of it. Him and Zhu Wei's 10 years of hatred. Su Lin wasn't there, but he saw everything later when they broadcast it. What happened inside that barrier was worse than he imagined. The Wolf King lay face down in blood, all 4 limbs broken. His eldest son knelt nearby, face smashed, nose crooked, one eye swollen shut. His daughter, the second princess, was curled up in a corner, clothes torn, shaking, whispering, "Don't touch him," over and over. Hundreds of their people lay across the throne room floor. Broken arms, broken legs, some unconscious, some insane, blood running between the stone tiles like little streams. The Wolf King couldn't move. He could only watch. All day, from morning to night, he watched his people get dragged in and tortured one after another. Something changed in him. He started out afraid, then angry, then desperate, then empty. But by the end, all that was left was hate. Not for Wolf Shadow, for Holy Light Star. For the people who did this to them without proof, without listening, without caring whether it was true. He whispered it lying in his own blood, staring up at the broken ceiling. He prayed that Wolf Shadow would grow strong and kill every last person in Holy Light Star. Every single one. His son Yin Xiao asked him shouldn't he hate Wolf Shadow instead. Wolf Shadow was the one who caused all this. The Wolf King said yes, he hated Wolf Shadow too. But he hated Holy Light Star more. They didn't ask questions, didn't care about the truth, just decided Sirius Star was guilty and started breaking bones. They didn't treat them like people. Yin Xiao asked what would happen if Wolf Shadow grew strong and came for Sirius Star too. His father was quiet for a long time, then he said it didn't matter. What mattered was that Holy Light Star had to die. Then Shang Xian did something that made everything worse. He ordered the footage broadcast on every public crystal screen across Origin Star. All of it. The Wolf King broken on the floor, Yin Xiao's shattered arms, the princess with torn clothes, hundreds of people lying in blood. At the bottom of the screen, one line in golden letters, "This is what happens when you oppose Holy Light Star." Then Shang Xian appeared on screen standing in front of all that carnage and spoke directly to Wolf Shadow. "You see this? This is what your Sirius Star gets for making enemies of Holy Light Star. You said you'd kill the top 10 planets." He was waiting. Holy Light Star will be here anytime. Tens of millions of people across Origin Star watched in silence. Some went pale. Some clenched their fists. Some looked away. Some smiled coldly. But nobody said a word because Holy Light Star's warriors were standing right there watching everyone like hawks. Nobody dared. After the broadcast ended, the plaza went dead quiet. Millions of people stood there terrified, not of Wolf Shadow, but of Holy Light Star. If they could do that to a planet ranked 73rd, what chance did anyone weaker have? The other top planets were all playing it smart. Chaos Star's guy leaned against a pillar laughing, saying they'd just watched the show. Star Planet's leader figured Holy Light Star was painting a target on themselves. If Wolf Shadow retaliated, they'd be first to get hit. Taichu Star's elder said Wolf Shadow wouldn't take the bait because he wasn't stupid. Dark Abyss Star's people hid in their shadows, whispering that the real entertainment was still coming. Back in his room, he watched the broadcast with Shuai. She said seeing Sirius Star tortured felt satisfying and cathartic after what they'd done to her family, but she warned him this was a trap. Holy Light Star wanted to make him angry enough to show up, and they might have space-locking treasures that could block teleportation skills. If he went and couldn't teleport out, he would be dead. Su Lin told her he wasn't going. The mission was already accomplished. Everyone believed Wolf Shadow was from Sirius Star. Going now would be walking right into their hands. Staying away would leave them helpless. She asked what he planned to do next. Clear more rifts, Su Lin said. She stared at him. Su Lin explained, every time he entered a rift, he used a different face. They couldn't find him. Last time they only caught him because he wanted to be caught. And even if something went wrong, he had Void Shuttle to escape. She laughed and called him a genius. Then she told him to go ahead. Let them pour all their manpower into hunting someone they'd never find. Su Lin headed back to the teleportation plaza with an ordinary face. Black hair, round features, completely forgettable. The atmosphere had changed. People were whispering about the siege on Sirius Star, debating whether Wolf Shadow would show up, whether anyone could beat a level 193 Elder. Some wondered if Wolf Shadow had already left Origin Star, but others pointed out that Holy Light Star had checked every teleportation gate's records. No Sirius Star person had departed. In the middle of the plaza, they put up a wanted poster. Wolf Shadow Sirius Star. Crime attacking St. Tianjiao. Reward, 10 resource planets for information, 100 for a live capture, 50 for a kill. Issued by Holy Light Star. Su Lin looked at it and thought he was worth quite a lot. Then he turned and walked toward the teleportation gates to clear more rifts. Su Lin headed to gate 201, the Dragon Nest, ranked number 1 among all level 20 rifts, the hardest one. Only a few tens of thousands of people stood outside, much less than other gates. Not many dared to try. The leaderboard showed St. Tianjiao in first place at 121 hours, over 5 days. Su Lin walked in. Inside was a massive underground cavern with glowing crystals on the ceiling like stars and dragons. Real dragons, not lizards. Each 100 meters long, covered in black scales with golden slit pupil eyes. A million of them filling the space like a black ocean. The rules were straightforward. Kill all 1 million baby dragons. Each had 10 million attack power and 1 billion health. They could breathe fire for 50 million damage, and their dragon pressure cut all your stats in half. They wouldn't run. Either he killed them all or they killed him. Su Lin smiled and turned on his taunt. Every dragon within range went berserk. Their eyes turned blood red. They came at him in a wave, claws, teeth, fire breath, tail whips. Millions of damage hitting him every second, and every single hit bounced right back at them through his reflect passive. His health 6 quintillion. Regeneration 100% per second. Their attacks were nothing. Su Lin just stood there. Let them come. Let them die. 15 minutes later, he climbed out of a mountain of dragon corpses. 1 million dragons all dead. Time 15 minutes 22 seconds. The old record was 121 hours. His reward was Dragon Pressure, a passive that cuts all enemy stats by 50% within 100 meters. Useful though not game-changing for him. Su Lin walked out and headed straight for the next rift. About 10 steps later, the crystal board updated behind him. Dragon Nest, first place, Sirius Star, Wolf Shadow, 15 minutes 22 seconds. The plaza went completely silent. Then it erupted. People were losing their minds. 1 million dragons in 15 minutes. That's over 1,000 kills per second. And Wolf Shadow had just attacked St. Tianjiao not long ago. He assaulted Holy Light Star's hair, escaped, and immediately went to casually smash the hardest rift's record while Holy Light Star was busy torturing Sirius Star's people. The news spread everywhere within minutes. At the Holy Light Star quarters, Shang Jian sat like a stone statue staring at the numbers. 15 minutes versus his protege is 121 hours. He couldn't even calculate how many times faster that was. He didn't want to. He stood up and said one thing: call a meeting of all senior leaders on Origin Star. And he was already walking toward his next rift. Su Lin wasn't in that meeting room, but he pieced together what happened from information he got later. Holy Light Star's top 12 leaders on Origin Star gathered around a long table. Shang Xian sat at the head with 5 crystal boards floating in front of him, his 5 records all laid out. Their intelligence chief Sheng Yun, level 190, hadn't slept in days. He stood up and read the numbers out loud. Fraud Maze, 70 times faster than the old record. Mirror of 1,000 Faces, 210 times faster. Void corridor, 35 times faster. Afterlife fragments, 125 times more fragments absorbed. Dragon nest, 475 times faster. The room went dead quiet when he finished. Then he said the scariest part wasn't the records themselves. It was that he broke all 5 while they were searching for him across the entire city. Su Lin didn't care about their manhunt, their sealed barrier, their 100-planet bounty. Su Lin just kept clearing rifts and smashing records like none of it mattered. Su Lin was telling them they couldn't catch him. He went over the attack on Saint Tinjiao frame by frame. Su Lin had stealth that fooled level 100 warriors. Su Lin punched through a level 60 genius with double triple S abilities and eternal grade armor in full defense mode through 4 walls with a single hit. That meant his attack power was far beyond level 100 and his teleportation was at least 500 kilometers instant usable in combat, couldn't be interrupted. He listed what they knew about his abilities. Insane luck, massive health, overwhelming attack power, stealth, long-range teleportation. Any one of those on a level 20 awakener would make them a genius. All 5 together made him something else entirely. A monster that broke the rules of what they thought was possible. Their once-in-a-century geniuses were like children compared to him, and they'd already made an enemy of him beyond any chance of making peace. They'd sealed Sirius Star, tortured its people, broadcast the suffering for everyone to see. Whoever Wolf Shadow really was, he'd seen all of it. He wouldn't forgive them. Nobody would. Shang Xian said it plainly, there was no going back. Either he die or they do. Everyone stood up immediately shouting for action. They argued that he was still level 20, no matter how strong his abilities were. The rules of this world meant a level 20 couldn't actually damage anyone above level 120. His skills all had cooldowns. If they could find him, lock him down, and control him, he'd still die like any level 20. They just had to find him first. Su Lin found out later what Holy Light Star did after he broke the Dragon Nest record. Shang Xian called an emergency meeting. Not just his own people, but all 10 top-ranked planets. He summoned them to a floating black hall in the center of Origin City where 10 high-back chairs sat in a circle, each carved with a different planet symbol. Everyone came. Star Planet Xingyao, level 192. Taichu Stars Taisu, level 192, sitting with his eyes closed as usual. Dark Abyss Star sent a cloud of black fog with red eyes flickering inside. Chaos Star's bald fighter sat shirtless, smoking. The other 5 planets filled the remaining seats, all level 190 and above. Xingxian put his 5 records up on a giant light screen. All 5 first-place finishes, all under Sirius Star Wolf Shadow. He didn't ask for opinions. He said this was a notification, not a discussion. Wolf Shadow had to die. Xingyao accused him of wanting them to be his weapons. He shut that down fast. Wolf Shadow had threatened all 10 planets, not just Holy Light Star. If he grew stronger, every single one of them would be a target. This wasn't his fight alone. It was everyone's. Then he laid out his plan. He wanted each of the 10 planets to dismantle their Grade 1 space lockdown array from their own headquarters on Origin Star and move them all to the teleportation plaza. Each array could block teleportation within its range. Even level 200 warriors couldn't teleport through one without special tools. But one array couldn't cover the entire 10 kilometers plaza. 10 arrays together could. The catch was serious. Each planet only had one array on Origin Star. Removing it meant their headquarters would lose its teleportation defense. Some protested. What if someone attacked while the arrays were gone? Xingxian pointed out that nobody would dare attack a top 10 planet's base. And besides, the real threat was him. Shang Xian argued that Wolf Shadow would keep clearing rifts, keep growing stronger, and eventually come after every top planet one by one. Xingxian proposed that each planet pay 1/10, while Shang Xian reminded the reluctant 7th-ranked faction that Wolf Shadow had threatened all 10 planets without exception. If the top 6 fell, did he really think number 7 would be spared? Nobody argued after that. Shang Xian gave them a deadline: tomorrow, all 10 arrays at the teleportation plaza. Anyone who didn't comply would face consequences. He walked out. The remaining 9 sat there thinking. Xin Yao's advisor asked if they'd really dismantle their array. She stood up and said yes. Shang Xian was right. If Wolf Shadow didn't die, they all would. So now they were building a trap specifically for him. A 10 kilometers zone where teleportation was impossible. If he stepped into that plaza to clear another rift, he wouldn't be able to use Void Shuttle to escape. Su Lin didn't know any of this yet, but he was about to find out. After the Dragon Nest, he ducked into an alley and Xu Wei contacted him through the Blood Flame Stone. She was amazed again. Saint Tianjiao's Dragon Nest record had been celebrated for 3 days across all of Origin Star. Su Lin beat it in 15 minutes without breaking a sweat. Then she got serious. She'd gotten intelligence that Holy Light Star was organizing all 10 top planets to dismantle their Grade 1 space lockdown arrays from their headquarters and combine them at the teleportation plaza. 10 arrays forming a circle covering the entire 10 kilometers area. Once active, no teleportation skills would work inside, including his void shuttle. She told him he needed to clear one specific rift before they finished setting up. Gate 211, the boundary-breaking rift, ranked 11th in difficulty. The reward was a one-time item called a boundary-breaking talisman. It lets you ignore a Grade 1 space lockdown and force one teleportation. One use, then it's gone. She said the rift was unpopular because the reward seemed weak for how hard it was. But with his ability to shatter records, he might get something even better than the basic version. Higher scores always meant better rewards. Su Lin headed to Gate 211. Was in the most remote corner of the plaza, small gate, dim ruins. Only a few hundred people standing around. The record was held by Tai Su, the Tide Shu Star Elder, from he was young, 47 hours. Su Lin stepped inside. The moment he opened his eyes, he couldn't move. The space itself was pressing down on him from every direction, like 10,000 invisible hands holding every part of his body. Su Lin couldn't lift a foot, raise a hand, or even turn his neck. The voice explained, everything was slowed by 95%. Movement, attacks, skill casting, all 20 times slower than normal. This effect couldn't be resisted by anything, but the enemies, 10,000 boundary-breaking beasts, were completely unaffected. They could fly, teleport, and attack from any angle at full speed. Level 20, 20 million attack, 2 billion health each. For anyone else, this rift was a death sentence. You just stand there like a frozen target while monsters tore you apart. But he didn't need to move. Su Lin activated his taunt, Ice Corpse's Rage Taunt. Instantly, 10,000 pairs of blood-red eyes lit up in the fog, and they came pouring out toward him. The boundary-breaking beasts came at him from every direction. 5 meters long lizard-like creatures covered in silver-white scales. Su Lin couldn't move at all with a 95% speed reduction, but he didn't need to. They attacked him non-stop. Every hit did 20 million damage. Every hit bounced right back. Their claws exploded, their teeth shattered, their tails snapped, their heads split open. They kept coming anyway because his taunt forced them to. His health was 6,002 quintillion. Su Lin regenerated 100% per second. Their damage was less than a rounding error of a rounding error. Su Lin just stood there like a statue and let them kill themselves on his reflect. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. All 10,000 dead. Old record 47 hours. New record 2 minutes 8 seconds. And the reward wasn't a one-time talisman like Zui expected. It was a permanent active skill called Boundary Breaking Domain. For 10 seconds after activation, it completely ignores Grade 1 space lockdowns, letting him use any teleportation skill inside a sealed zone. 1 hour cooldown. Their entire trap, 10 planets dismantling their defense arrays to seal the plaza, was already useless before they even set it up. Su Lin walked out and the leaderboard updated again. By now, people in the plaza were numb. 6 rifts, 6 shattered records. They'd gone from screaming to just staring at the board like it was a weather report. Another one from Wolf Shadow. Yep, shock. Too numb to be shocked. Su Lin contacted Suwei from an alley. She nearly lost it when he told her the reward wasn't a one-time item, but a reusable skill. She said she was beyond being surprised by him at this point. She confirmed that the 10 planets had agreed to set up the lockdown arrays tomorrow. But with his new skill, their blockade wouldn't matter. Su Lin could teleport out anytime, even inside a sealed zone. When Zui asked what came next, Su Lin told her he intended to clear every remaining level 20 rift, all 200 in total. 6 done, 194 left. Su Lin planned to finish in 2 days. She was quiet for 10 seconds. Then she called him a maniac and hung up. Su Lin headed to Gate 212, the Shadow Abyss, rank 12. Su Lin stepped through the light into pure darkness. Inside the Shadow Abyss, everything was pure darkness. Su Lin couldn't see anything. No vision, no sensing abilities, nothing worked. But the shadow beasts could see him perfectly. 50,000 of them, each with 50 million attack power. Su Lin didn't need to see them. Su Lin turned on his taunt. Thousands of blood-red eyes lit up in the darkness and rushed at him like a storm of meteors. Su Lin stood still and let them attack. Every hit bounced back through his reflect. One by one those red eyes went out like candles in the wind. 50,000 dead. Old record, 33 hours. His reward was a new skill, Shadow Clone. It splits him into 10 copies, each with 10% of his health and attack power, lasting 10 minutes with a 7-day cooldown. Each clone can use all his skills. Then an idea hit him. What if he combined Shadow Clone with his Twin Body skill? Shadow Clone makes 10 temporary copies that last 10 minutes. Twin Body makes 1 permanent copy. What if each shadow clone used twin body to create its own permanent copy? Would those permanent copies survive after the shadow clones disappeared? Su Lin ducked into a deep, empty alley and activated shadow clone. 10 copies of him appeared. Su Lin asked the first one if it could use twin body. It checked its skill panel and said yes. Su Lin told them all to do it. One by one, each shadow clone split off a twin body copy. 10 shadow clones made twin body copies. 20 versions of him now stood in the alley. Su Lin quickly gave clothes to the 10 new twin body copies since they appeared naked with his original face. If the temporary shadow clones vanished while their twin bodies remained, Su Lin would have discovered a system loophole capable of creating permanent copies every 7 days. The seconds crawled by. 9 minutes. 7. 5. 1. Time's up. The 10 shadow clones vanished instantly like someone hit delete. Su Lin stared at the 10 twin body copies. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. They were still standing there. They didn't disappear. The bug worked, and it was even better than he expected. Su Lin checked one of the twin body copies' stats. Blood 6,002 quintillion. Not 10%, the full 100%. Su Lin checked the other 9, all the same, full power. Su Lin figured out why. Twin bodies rule says both sides share power in real time. While the shadow clones existed, the twin body copies shared their 10% stats. But when the shadow clones vanished, the twin body copies had no source to link to, so the system's logic automatically connected them to him, the main body. Their power jumped from 10% to 100% instantly. Then he had another thought. What if the copies used shadow clone themselves to make more copies? Infinite multiplication. Su Lin told the first copy to try it. Nothing happened. The skill was grayed out. The description said clones cannot use this skill. Since twin body copies were still technically clones, they couldn't activate shadow clone either. No infinite stacking. Only he could use shadow clone and only every 7 days. So 10 new permanent copies per week. Su Lin could live with that. The problem was these 10 copies all had his real face. Su Lin couldn't send them to clear rifts looking like him. That would blow his cover. Su Lin needed to get them a disguise ability first. Su Lin remembered from Shu Wei's notes that there was a rift called the 1000 Face Illusion, rank 15th. Its reward was a passive skill called Illusion Form that changes your appearance, build, and energy signature. The current record holder's version could fool anyone within 10 levels above them. That wasn't enough for him, so he needed to crush the record again. Su Lin told the 10 copies to scatter into the crowd and wait. Then he headed to gate 215. The leaderboard showed 53 hours for first place. Su Lin walked in. Inside was a gray empty space with a single narrow path stretching into fog, 999 steps long. Each step pulls you into an illusion. Your deepest fears, your worst regrets, the people you want most. The illusion grabs the softest part of your heart and squeezes. Break free to take the next step. Fail and you stay trapped forever. 999 steps, 999 illusions. The 1000 Face Illusion Rift had 999 steps on a narrow path. Each step pulls you into an illusion built from your deepest fears, regrets, and desires. Break free to take the next step. Fail and you're trapped forever. Su Lin used the same trick as before. Su Lin pulled his soul out of his main body and controlled it remotely from his clone on Blue Star. The illusions tried to grab his consciousness, but the main body was empty, nothing to grab. Su Lin just ran the puppet straight down the path without stopping. 999 steps in 47 seconds. Old record, 53 hours. Over 4,000 times faster. The reward was Illusion Form, a passive skill that changes his face, body, energy, and ability wavelength. With his score, it could fool anyone up to 100 levels above him. At level 20, that meant anyone up to level 120 couldn't see through his disguise. The moment he got the skill, all 10 of his permanent copies received it too through their shared link. They each found a hidden spot and changed their appearances. Different hair, different faces, different builds. 11 of them now, all looking completely different, scattered across the plaza. Then they went to work. Su Lin walked into gate 216. Ice Hell ranked 16th. At the same moment, Clone 1 entered gate 217, Firestorm Purgatory. Clone 2 entered gate 218, Thunder Canyon. Clone 3 entered gate 219, Poison Fog Swamp. Clone 4 entered gate 220, Gravity Abyss. 5 gates lit up almost simultaneously. About 2 minutes later, all 5 of them walked out at almost the same time. Ice Hell, 2 minutes 17 seconds. Firestorm Purgatory, 1 minute 58 seconds. Thunder Canyon, 2 minutes 3 seconds. Poison Fog Swamp, 2 minutes 22 seconds. Gravity Abyss, 1 minute 47 seconds. All 5 leaderboards updated at once. All 5 showed first place, Sirius star Wolf Shadow. His master of deception could change all records linked to his name, including the clone's results. So everything showed up as Wolf Shadow. 5 records broken simultaneously. The plaza didn't just go quiet for a moment this time. It went completely, absolutely deathly silent. Tens of millions of people stood frozen, staring up at 5 crystal boards all showing the same name, all showing impossible times, all updated in the same second. Wolf Shadow had just cleared 5 rifts at the same time. The plaza went insane after 5 leaderboards updated at the same time. People were rubbing their eyes, pinching their faces, sitting down because their legs gave out. Someone figured it out quickly. The Shadow Abyss reward was a clone skill. The original version only made 1 clone lasting 1 minute. But, since he had crushed the record by 800 times, people guessed he got an upgraded version. Maybe 4 clones lasting 3 minutes each. That made sense to them. 5 people, him plus 4 clones, clearing 5 rifts simultaneously. They were wrong about the details, but close enough. The real numbers were far more terrifying, but their guess was reasonable. The spread faster than ever. 3 seconds to East District, 5 to West, 10 seconds across all of Origin Star, 20 seconds to every second-tier planet. At Holy Light Star's headquarters, Shang Xian sat staring at 5 crystal boards. His intelligence chief, Shang Kong, confirmed that the original Shadow Abyss reward was 1 clone at 10% power lasting 1 minute. But with his record being 800 times faster, an upgraded version with 4+ clones lasting several minutes was entirely plausible. Then Shang Xian did something he wouldn't have expected. He started calculating whether he could finish all 200 level 20 rifts in 1 day. In the entire history of second-tier planets, nobody had ever cleared all of them. The most anyone ever managed was 28 spread across days with rest between each one. Shang Xian calculated that Su Lin still could not finish every level 20 rift that day, because the temporary clones would expire and leave him clearing the rest alone. Even at 5 minutes per rift, that was over 16 hours of non-stop clearing, not counting travel time, rest, or eating. So as long as he couldn't maintain 5 simultaneous clones indefinitely, he wouldn't finish today. And tomorrow, their 10 space lockdown arrays would be in place. Once inside the plaza, no teleportation, no escape. He ordered everyone to set up the arrays on schedule, no delays. And he wanted surveillance on everything he did. How many clones he had, how long they lasted, their cooldown times. He was wrong about one critical thing, of course. His clones were permanent, but he didn't know that yet. The top planets all agreed with Shang Xin's analysis. Wolf Shadow couldn't finish all 200 rifts today. They thought his clones lasted maybe 15 minutes at most. Star planet Xing Yao did her own math and realized even 1 day of powering the lockdown arrays would eat a huge chunk of their resources. A week would drain their entire monthly budget. Holy Light Star could afford it. They were ranked first. Everyone else would bleed, but she said they had no choice. Wolf Shadow couldn't be allowed to grow. They were all wrong about one thing. His clones were permanent. Ju Wei contacted him after the 5 simultaneous clears. She demanded to know how he did it. Su Lin told her sort of. Su Lin said the upgraded Shadow clone gave him 10 copies with 100% of his power lasting 1 day, 7-day cooldown. Su Lin didn't tell her they were permanent. No reason to show all his cards yet. She calculated it instantly. Su Lin didn't need 2 days. Su Lin could finish everything in about 2 hours. She told him to go ahead and let them set up their lockdown arrays tomorrow, only to find every single rift already cleared. So, he gave the order. All 10 clones received instructions simultaneously. They spread across the plaza heading to different gates. 11 of them entered 11 rifts at the same time. About 2.5 minutes later, 11 leaderboards updated at once. Storm's Eye, Earth Rift, Ocean Abyss, Molten Heart, Frost Peak, Shadow Forest, Thunder's Wrath, Hurricane Eye, Gravity Maze, Time Rift, Void Horizon. All first place. All Wolf Shadow. All under 3 minutes. The plaza didn't just go quiet. People couldn't even form words anymore. Some just stood making incoherent sounds. 11 records broken simultaneously. Not 5 like before 11. People figured it out fast. Not 4 clones but 10. 10 clones plus 1 original. 11 total. At Holy Light Star's headquarters, Shang Xian stared at 11 crystal boards. His intelligence chief was shaking, recalculating everything. Their earlier analysis was wrong. Su Lin didn't have 4 clones. Su Lin had 10, and the clone duration wasn't 10 minutes. With the time between his 2 batches, it had been well over 10 minutes, and the clones were still active. Maybe 15 minutes, 20? They were starting to panic. If the clones lasted long enough, he could clear all 200 rifts today, and their lockdown arrays wouldn't be ready until tomorrow. At Holy Light Star's headquarters, their intelligence chief ran the numbers. 176 rifts left, 11 per batch, about 5 minutes per batch including travel time. If his clones could last 80 minutes, he would finish everything in 2 hours. But he argued that was impossible. Historically, even the most extreme record breakers only got rewards about 10 to 20 times better than normal. The original Shadow Abyss reward lasted 1 minute. Even with generous estimates, he said his clones couldn't last more than 20 minutes. 20 minutes meant 4 batches, 44 rifts. Even after adding the earlier clears, 132 rifts remained, and without more active clones, Su Lin would have to handle them one by one. They concluded he couldn't finish today. Shang Xian accepted the analysis, but something nagged at him. He said he had a bad feeling things wouldn't go the way they calculated. His people told him he was just tired. He waved them off and left. They were very, very wrong. Out on the plaza, the crowd had swollen to hundreds of millions. People weren't even there to clear rifts. They just sat on the ground staring up at the leaderboards, waiting for the next update like it was a show. And the show kept coming. Every few minutes, 11 boards lit up at once. Batch after batch, ranks 24 through 35, then 35 through 46, then 46 through 57, then 57 through 68, then 68 through 79. People in the crowd began calculating aloud, estimating 12 more clone batches and roughly another hour before the remaining rifts could be finished. Someone joked about taking photos of the leaderboard as a souvenir since they'd never see anything like it again. The 200 crystal boards were arranged in a neat grid, 20 rows of 10. The first 79 were now all showing the same name, Sirius Star, Wolf Shadow. A solid wall of one name, pushing every other planet's records down to second place. People were laughing, cracking jokes about what Holy Light Star's leaders must be doing right now. Having a meeting. About what? About how to kill Wolf Shadow. Kill him? They don't even know where he is. That's why they're having the meeting. Everyone was watching. Everyone was counting. And the boards just kept lighting up, 11 at a time, like clockwork. Su Lin was barely paying attention to the crowd. Su Lin just kept moving in and out of gates, one batch after another. His 10 clones spread across the plaza doing the same thing. Mechanical, efficient, unstoppable. At Holy Light Star's headquarters, Shang Xian watched his intelligence chief's predictions crumble in real time. Shang Kong had said his clones could last 20 minutes at most. 40 minutes passed, his clones were still going. When Shang Xian asked him to explain, he couldn't. Everything he'd calculated based on historical data was completely wrong. Shang Xian said the duration didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that he was really going to finish all 200 rifts today. Their lockdown arrays, scheduled for tomorrow, would be pointless. When one of his elders asked what the point of setting up the arrays would be if he finished today, Shang Xian snapped at him. Of course there'd be no point. He stormed out. Out on the plaza, the crowd kept growing. Hundreds of millions now. People brought folding chairs and snacks. They weren't there to clear rifts. They were there to watch history happen. The leaderboards had become a show. Batch after batch, 11 at a time, the boards kept updating. 79, then 90, then 101. Someone pointed out that over half the leaderboard was now pure Wolf Shadow. People took photos. Some just sat and stared. 102 to 113. 114 to 125. 126 to 137. 138 to 148. 149 to 160, 161 to 172, 173 to 184. His 10 clones, and he moved like clockwork through the plaza. Into a rift, out, walk to the next one, and again. No stopping, no resting, no slowing down. 185 to 196. 4 left. The entire plaza held its breath staring at those last 4 crystal boards. Then all 4 lit up at once. 200 out of 200. Every single level 20 rift. First place on every single one, all showing the same name, Sirius Star Wolf Shadow. The plaza erupted like nothing before. People were crying. Not from sadness, from the sheer emotion of witnessing something that had never happened in the entire history of second-tier planets. Nobody had ever cleared all rifts of the same level. Nobody had even come close. The old record was 28. Tens of millions of people started chanting his fake name, Wolf Shadow. Wolf Shadow. Wolf Shadow. The sound was like an earthquake. The whole of Origin Star shook with it. Su Lin didn't stick around to hear it. The moment his main body stepped out of the last rift, he used Void's shuttle and teleported back to his room at the Bloodflame Star quarters. His 10 clones, he gave them money and sent them to rent separate rooms across the city to live on their own. 200 rifts. All done. In about 2 hours. And tomorrow, when the 10 top planets finished setting up their grand space lockdown array across the entire plaza, they'd find there was nothing left for him to clear. Su Lin stood in his room at the Blood Flame Star quarters. The curtains were drawn, but he could still hear millions of people chanting, Wolf Shadow, From the plaza. Su Lin checked his panel. 195 rifts cleared today. 194 new skills acquired, most of them useless stuff like basic healing and minor strength boosts. Not worth anything at his level, but they'd serve for the forge later when he needed to upgrade his core skills. The real prize was a card he had gotten, the Heaven Tower card, grade 3. It let him enter the Heaven Tower and clear floors continuously without leaving, up to floor 29. That meant he could jump straight from level 20 to level 30. Same function as the grade 2 card he had used before. It would save him 9 weeks of waiting, and tomorrow was Sunday, Tower Day. The door opened without a knock. Shuei walked in. She was wearing a dark red silk nightgown, very thin, very short. Her hair was still damp from washing. No makeup. Bare feet on the floor. She looked different from during the day. Her eyes had something in them he hadn't seen before. Nervousness, hesitation, something else. She stood very close to him and said she wanted to have a child with him. Su Lin told her no. She reminded him he was still bound to her. Su Lin said he still couldn't accept. She stood there quietly for a long time. Then she smiled, a light, thin smile that didn't reach her eyes. She said she knew he would say that. She'd known from the first time they met what kind of person he was. Couldn't be killed, couldn't be crushed, couldn't be tamed. Won't make a sound even in pain. Won't kneel even with broken bones. Then she said something that surprised him. She said after watching him crush all 200 rifts today, she felt he had eventually break free of her control. When Zhu Wei asked whether Su Lin would have killed her if the enslavement backlash became dangerous, he thought for several seconds and admitted he did not know. She laughed, a real laugh this time. She said if he had said no, she wouldn't have believed him. That uncertainty seemed to reassure her more than a false promise would have, and she touched his face with cold, trembling fingertips. Then she stepped back and told him plainly. She was still going to use him to clear rifts, break records, destroy Sirius Star. Once her mother's death was avenged, even if he killed her afterward, it would be worth it. Her eyes were shining with tears but none fell. She turned to leave. At the door, she asked about the Heaven Tower card. Su Lin told her it went up to 429. She started calculating. Tomorrow he had hit level 30, clear a passive rift at that level, then finish all 200 level 30 rifts in one day. Halfway through saying it, she stopped herself and said she couldn't even finish the sentence because it didn't sound like something a human being could do. She left. Su Lin sat there looking at the closed door for a while. Her request tonight, it was probably her father's idea. The Blood Flame King must have seen his performance today and realized he might break free of their control someday. Having a child would be another way to tie him down. Or maybe she'd come up with it herself, sensing the same thing. Su Lin pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Tomorrow was the Heaven Tower. Su Lin was already asleep when Holy Light Star was planning their next move. Su Lin found out about it later. Shang Jian sat in his meeting room staring at the leaderboard, all 200 slots showing the same name. His space lockdown plan for the teleportation plaza was useless now. There was nothing left for him to clear there. But he figured out something important. Su Lin was level 20. He had finished all the level 20 rifts. The next step was obvious. Su Lin needed levels, and Sunday was the day the Heavenly Tower opened. He already possessed a tower card from one of the rifts. The previous record holder got one that let them clear continuously up to 424. With his scores, his could go to at least 25, maybe 29. Unlike ordinary challengers who entered one floor at a time, Su Lin planned to remain inside and clear several Heavenly Tower floors in a single run. And the key detail, the Heaven Tower shows real-time data outside. Who's inside, what floor they're on, how long they've been there, all visible. So, if anyone started at floor 20 and kept climbing past 25 without stopping, that person had to be Wolf Shadow. No one else would have a card like that. Shang Jian gave new orders. Forget the teleportation plaza. Move all 10 space lockdown arrays to surround the 10 Heaven Tower entrances instead. One array per entrance, completely sealed. Each entrance would have at least one level 190 warrior and 100 level 100 fighter stationed there. When he walked out of the tower, he wouldn't be able to teleport, couldn't escape, couldn't run. They'd kill him on the spot. Whoever came out with those abnormal clearing stats, no hesitation, just strike. He told everyone watching the tower data to report any unusual clearing patterns immediately. He stood alone at his window afterward, looking out at the gray night sky, and whispered that this time he wouldn't get away. He didn't know he had the boundary-breaking domain skill, 10 seconds of ignoring any space lockdown once per hour. His trap was already useless before he even said it, but he didn't know about his plan yet either. Su Lin was just sleeping, getting ready for tomorrow. Sunday morning, Heaven Tower Day, Su Wei told him what was waiting. All 10 top planets had moved their space lockdown arrays to the 10 Heaven Tower entrances. Each entrance had a level 190 warrior and 100 level 100 fighters. It was a trap so obvious it might as well have a sign. She asked if he was sure about going. Sulin told her he had to. If he didn't go today, they'd set up the same ambush next time. There was no avoiding it. She told him not to die. Sulin told her he wouldn't. Sulin walked to the first entrance. The plaza was packed. Tens of millions of people had come to watch. Holy Light Star Shang Xian was there personally, standing at the front with 100 golden armored warriors behind him. Star Planet's Xing Yao stood beside Shang Xian while the Chaos Star representative joked about which entrance Wolf Shadow might choose. People in the crowd were debating. Could Wolf Shadow beat a level 190? Everyone agreed, impossible. The rules of this world meant a level 20 couldn't deal any damage to anything above level 120. Coming here was walking into certain death, but he had no choice. Sulin couldn't stay level 20 forever. What none of them knew was that his disguise could fool anyone up to level 200. Sulin walked right past two of the strongest warriors guarding the entrance, a level 190 and a level 192, and they didn't even glance at him. Just another ordinary-looking level 20 kid with a round face and black hair. Sulin stepped through the blue light gate and disappeared. Nobody noticed. Inside the tower, he stood on a transparent platform in gray empty space. Sulin pulled out his Heaven Tower card and placed it on the platform. It melted into silver light that spread everywhere. The system confirmed, continuous clearing mode activated, floors 20 through 29. Monsters would get stronger with each floor, and floor 29's guardian would be 3 times stronger than floor 28's. Sulin said start. Floor 20 dropped him onto a wasteland with 100 armored giant lizards, level 20 elites. Sulin activated his taunt. They all rushed him, biting everywhere. Each hit did 200,000 damage, completely meaningless against his health. Every bite bounced back and split their heads open. 20 seconds, 100 dead lizards at his feet. Floor 20 cleared. Continue? Yes. Outside the tower, people noticed almost immediately. The display on the tower's outer wall showed his progress. Floor 20 cleared in 20 seconds. The crowd started buzzing. Then floor 21 in 21 seconds. Floor 22 in 19 seconds. Floor 23. Floor 24. Each one about 20 seconds. Each one shattering the old record. By 424, everyone knew it was him. 5 consecutive floors with a continuous clearing card. Only Wolf Shadow could have that. Shang Xian confirmed it. It's him. He ordered the space lockdown array activated immediately. Golden runes spread across the entire plaza floor and formed a massive dome. No teleportation possible inside. Then he pulled all forces from the other 9 entrances to this one. 1,000 level 100 warriors. 10 level 190 elders. All packed around the first entrance. They cleared out the spectators, shoving tens of millions of people beyond a 1,000 meters perimeter. Anyone who resisted got hit hard enough to lose teeth. Inside the barrier it was just them. Shang Xian at the front. Xing Yao on his left. Taisu on his right. Dark Abyss Star's black fog behind him. Chaos Star's bald fighter to the side. 1,000 warriors in golden, silver, gray, and black armor formed 3 layers of a circle around the entrance. Airtight. They watched the display play climb. Floor 25, 26, 27, 28. Each one about 20 seconds. Even the elders' hands were shaking now. Floor 29 cleared. 10 consecutive floors. Every single one a record, nobody spoke. Then the display changed. Clearing complete. Teleporting out of tower. Countdown. 10, 9, 8. Shang Xian's voice exploded across the plaza. Ready? 1,000 warriors moved at once. Weapons drawn, armor clanking, forming an impossibly tight ring around the entrance, 3 layers deep. Shang Xian stood 10 meters from the gate, golden light blazing in his raised palm. Xing Yao had silver-white light in both hands. Taishu warped the space around him. Dark Abyss Star's red eyes locked onto the gate. Chaos Star's muscles went rigid as steel. The countdown hit 0. The gate flashed. A figure stepped out. Sulin stepped out of the tower gate wearing his Sirius Star disguise, silver hair, wolf totem, the whole look. The moment he appeared, he couldn't move, couldn't think, couldn't activate any skills. Shang Xian's control ability at level 193 pressed down on a level 30 like an elephant stepping on an ant. His brain couldn't even form the thought to use Void Shuttle. Sulin scanned the scene in that frozen instant. 1,000 warriors, 10 level 190 elders, a space lockdown array covering the entire plaza. Shang Xian right in front of him, golden light in his palm. Then they all attacked at once. 10 strikes from 10 different planets, gold, silver, gray, black, red, all hit him simultaneously. The explosion was enormous. It shattered the stone floor and sent debris flying. His chest had a hole in it, ribs poking out, left arm broken, right leg barely holding, but he was still standing. His health had dropped to 1. His passive, Stone Body Double, had triggered. It absorbed the killing blow and gave him 1 second of complete invincibility. During that second, all control effects broke, all damage was negated. Su Lin had 1 second. Su Lin turned and sprinted for the tower gate. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. Shang Xian screamed to stop him, but it was too late. Su Lin dove through the light gate and disappeared inside. 1,000 warriors, 10 of the strongest elders in the universe, a space lockdown array, 10 killing blows, and they failed to kill one level 30. Inside the tower he was a mess. Blood everywhere, clothes destroyed, bones sticking out. Health, 1 out of 6,020 quintillion. Then his regeneration kicked in. 1 second later, full health, wounds healed, bones mended, arm working, leg steady. Like nothing happened. Su Lin was now level 30. His health had jumped to 6,020 quintillion from the level increase. The tower offered him a level 30 passive trial. Su Lin picked ability enhancement, effect boost, hell difficulty. The reward would be 200% to all ability effects. The trial was a time maze, and here was the key detail. Time inside flowed 100 times faster than outside. 100 seconds inside equaled 1 second outside. That meant 12 hours inside was only about 7 minutes outside. His Stone Body Double had a 12-hour cooldown. If he spent 12 hours in the maze, the skill would be ready again by the time he walked out. The ambushers would still be waiting outside, but by delaying inside the trial until the cooldown reset, Su Lin would have Stone Body Double ready again. Endless guards, level 30, 100 million attack, 100 billion health. They came at him non-stop. 1 then 5 then 10 then hundreds. Didn't matter. 1 punch killed each one. His reflect passive handled everything they threw at him. Su Lin found the exit within 20 minutes, but didn't leave. Su Lin just sat near the door, killing guards, and watching his cooldown timer. 1 hour, 5 hours, 8 hours, 10, 12. Su Lin checked his panel. Stone Body Double, cooldown complete. Su Lin stepped through the exit. Su Lin stepped out of the maze trial with his new passive, ability enhancement at 200%. Combined with his previous 100%, his total multiplier was now 4 trillion times. His health jumped to 12,040 quintillion at level 30. Then he walked through the tower exit. The same thing happened again. The instant he appeared he was frozen. Couldn't move, couldn't think. Shang Xian's control hit him before he could form a single thought. They'd learned from last time. No hesitation. 10 attacks, full power all at once. The explosion was even bigger. His chest had a hole in it again, bones sticking out. Left arm broken. Health dropped to 1. Stone Body Double triggered again. Outside, the crowd thought he was finished for sure. They figured the skill couldn't possibly have cooled down in just 7 minutes. Normally they'd be right. The cooldown was 12 hours. But he had spent 12 hours inside the time maze, where time flowed 100 times faster than outside. 7 minutes out here was 12 hours in there. His skill was fully recharged. Su Lin had his 1 second of invincibility. Brain unfroze. Su Lin thought fast. First, boundary-breaking domain. 10 seconds of ignoring the space lockdown. Second, void shuttle. Silver light exploded from his body. Everyone shut their eyes. When they opened them, he was gone. Just a 10 meters deep crater smoking on the ground. 1,000 warriors, 10 level 190 elders, a space lockdown array, 2 rounds of killing blows, and a level 30 walked away. Twice. Shang Xian's face went white. He screamed that it was impossible. How could his survival skill have recharged? His intelligence chief suddenly remembered that he had cleared the boundary-breaking rift, whose reward could bypass space lockdowns. He'd forgotten because the rift was so obscure nobody ever bothered with it. Shang Xian slapped him 100 meters across the plaza. He ordered the lockdown arrays dismantled. Then he walked away. His back was straight, but he looked like he'd aged 10 years. Xing Yao watched him go and whispered that the top 10 planets had lost all their dignity today. And worse, they'd failed to kill him. It would only get harder from here. Beyond the perimeter, tens of millions of spectators stood in silence for a moment. Then someone started laughing. Then another. Then thousands. Then millions. The entire crowd erupted in laughter, not quiet or hidden, but full roaring. Tears streaming down faces laughter. People took photos. Someone said this was a once-in-a-lifetime sight. Another said the whole universe would know by tomorrow. Someone else said it already did. Su Lin landed in his room at the Blood Flamestar quarters. His wounds healed in 1 second. 12,040 quintillion health. 100% regeneration per second. Bones mended. Holes closed. Everything back to normal. Su Lin took 2 deep breaths. His heart was racing, but it calmed down quickly. He had survived. Again. Shu Wei burst through his door again. She'd been watching everything through live streams. People at the first entrance had been broadcasting the whole thing live. She was shaking. She listed everything he had survived: 10 level 190 warriors, 1,000 level 100 fighters, a space lockdown array, 2 killing blows. When she asked how his survival skill recharged so fast, he explained about the time maze. 100 seconds inside equaled 1 second outside, 12 hours in there, 7 minutes out here. She stared at him, then laughed until she cried and asked if he was even human. Then she showed him her communication stone. He had gone viral. Live stream titles like Wolf Shadow tanks 190 elders at full power twice and survives. Millions of comments calling him the strongest level 30 in history, in the universe. Calling him a myth. People saying they wanted to be his fans. The top 10 planets had completely lost face. She told him he was a legend now. Every second-tier planet in existence was talking about him. Apparently, he even had fangirls who could wrap around the entire origin star. Then she handed him a spatial ring from her father, the Blood Flame King. Inside were 2 pieces of equipment, eternal grade, level 30. A dark gold armor adding 200 million health and a silver ring adding 100 million health plus 2 million attack. She told him her father said he deserved the best. Then she added, bitterly, that she begged her father for years to let her wear these when she was level 30 and he'd always refused. Every eternal grade item was a planet-level treasure for Blood Flame Star, and now they were giving them to him. Su Lin put them on and checked his panel. Health, 120,000 and 40 quintillion. The jump was insane. His base health at level 30 was only 100,000, but the eternal gear added 300 million, which was 3,000 times his base. Then multiply by his 4 trillion times enhancement from both ability boosts. Without these items, he'd only have about 40 quintillion. With them, 120,000 and 40 quintillion. Eternal grade equipment was every planet's strategic reserve. They never traded it. Some awakeners could reach level 150 without ever touching a single piece. Having it made everything tower climbing, rift clearing dramatically easier. Shuwei asked how it felt wearing eternal gear. Su Lin told her the boost was frightening. She said that's exactly why her father wouldn't even give it to his own daughter. She asked what he planned to do next. Su Lin told her it was Sunday morning, 8:30. His 10 clones still had about 3 hours left before they disappeared. Su Lin told her they lasted 1 day. Su Lin was going to have them start clearing level 30 rifts before the time ran out. She stared at him with wide eyes. You really don't care about the top 10 planets at all, do you? Shuwei poked his chest and called him crazy. She said he had nearly died an hour ago, and now he wanted to clear more rifts. She said it was like rubbing salt in the top planet's wounds. Su Lin explained his thinking calmly. His boundary-breaking skill still had an hour left on cooldown, but that didn't matter because he wasn't going anywhere. Su Lin decided to remain inside his room, while the 10 clones handled the dangerous work, especially because Stone Body Double was still cooling down. If Su Lin personally encountered another trap before that cooldown ended, he might not survive, so the clones would move while he stayed out of sight. She laughed, part frustration, part admiration. She said she almost felt sorry for the top planets. Then she laughed harder. Su Lin closed his eyes and sent the order. All 10 clones received it simultaneously. They'd been scattered across the city, some sleeping in rented rooms, some sitting in alleys, some standing on bridges. They all stood up at once, 10 different faces, and started walking toward the teleportation plaza from 10 different directions. On the way, his clones overheard people talking. Everyone assumed Wolf Shadow wouldn't dare show up after this morning's near-death experience. Some were discussing whether Wolf Shadow could actually help Sirius Star become a third-tier planet, something no second-tier planet had achieved in tens of millions of years. People were rooting for him. They wanted to see what a third-tier planet looked like. The clones reached the level 30 rift zone. 200 rifts, all with top planet geniuses holding the records. Without hesitating, 10 clones entered 10 different gates simultaneously. Less than 3 minutes later, 10 leaderboards updated at once. All first place, all Sirius Star Wolf Shadow, all under 3 minutes. The plaza exploded again. People figured it out fast. Only 10 rifts this time, not 11. That meant Wolf Shadow's main body wasn't here. He'd send his clones while hiding somewhere safe. He'd been nearly killed by 10 of the strongest elders in existence just an hour ago, and now he was casually breaking records again with his clones. Some people were screaming. Some were laughing. Someone yelled they wanted to have his babies. Someone else pointed out they were male. They said they didn't care. The crowd knew exactly what this was, a slap in the face. The top 10 planets had just deployed their entire might to kill one person and failed, and now that person was right back at it breaking their records. Not even bothering to show up in person. And he was just lying in bed at the Blood Flame Star quarters, eyes closed, controlling everything from a distance. While his clones were clearing level 30 rifts, things were getting interesting at Holy Light Star's headquarters. Su Lin found out about this later. Shang Xian was sitting in his meeting room staring at 10 more leaderboards with his name on them. Less than an hour after they'd nearly killed him, he was back breaking records. He told his people it meant he didn't care about them at all. His intelligence chief, Shang Kong, noticed something important. Only 10 rifts this time, not 11. That meant his main body wasn't there. These were all clones. And the clones had been active for over 20 hours now, which meant either they lasted that long or his clone skills cooldown was shorter than expected. Either way, it was terrifying. Even if they killed all 10 clones, his real body would be safe somewhere, and he could just make more. Then Shang Kong raised a bigger question, one that made the whole room go silent. He said Wolf Shadow might not be from Sirius Star at all. He laid out his reasoning. Sirius Star's people had been tortured horribly. The king's limbs broken, the prince shattered, the princess humiliated, hundreds of thousands lying in blood. If Wolf Shadow were truly from Sirius Star, his first reaction should have been rage, rescue attempts, or at least checking on his people. But Wolf Shadow did none of that. He attacked Saint Tianjiao once, almost like going through the motions, then went right back to clearing rifts. When Sirius Star's people were being tortured, he didn't react at all. He never showed any real concern for them. All he cared about was getting stronger. Then Shang Xian brought up the frog maze. Its reward, the Mask of Deception, could change the name and planet displayed on leaderboards. With his record-shattering score, the deception duration could be permanent, meaning Sirius Star Wolf Shadow on the leaderboard could be completely fake. Someone from a different planet entirely disguising themselves as Sirius Star. Someone framing Sirius Star on purpose. Shang Xian asked who would do that. Shang Xian said Sirius Star had invaded many planets over the past 1,000 years, making lots of enemies. But the biggest, most recent enemy was Blood Flame Star. 10 years ago, Sirius Star killed Blood Flame Star's queen and prince, nearly killed their king, and destroyed their ranking. Shang Xian said the name slowly. Blood Flame Star. The room went dead quiet. They were finally starting to figure it out. Su Lin didn't know about any of this at the time. Su Lin was lying in his room while his clones cleared rifts. But he learned later what was happening at Holy Light Star. Shang Xian's suspicion about Blood Flame Star sparked a serious debate. One elder scoffed. How could a trash planet ranked past 1,000 produce a monster like him? They barely had any warriors above level 180. Shang Xian replied that maybe nobody trained him. Maybe he was just born this way. Some talents can't be manufactured. Shang Xian cut them off. He said it didn't matter who he was or where he came from. Su Lin had to die. But before killing him, they needed to know everything. His identity, his origins, his abilities, who was behind him. They couldn't afford to miss again. 2 attempts, 2 failures. A third miss could mean their end. Then Shang Xian brought up something that made the room go tense. He asked if Shang Xian was thinking about using that thing, the time retrospection mirror. It could show the past 7 days of a person's life, but the cost was staggering. 1,000 years of the user's lifespan per use. Shang Xian cleared the room and contacted the Holy Light Emperor directly through a special golden communication stone. Only 3 existed in all of Holy Light Star. The Emperor's golden figure appeared, eyes burning like suns. Shang Xian knelt and asked permission to use the mirror. He explained his suspicion that Wolf Shadow wasn't from Sirius Star and might be from another planet entirely, possibly even framing Sirius Star on purpose. He needed to know the truth before they could strike with certainty. The Emperor asked his age, 8,700 years old. With a theoretical lifespan limit of 10,000 for a level 193, he had 1,300 years left. Using the mirror would leave him with only 300. Shang Xian said he knew. He said he'd spent his entire life fighting for Holy Light Star. He'd seen countless geniuses across thousands of years. He'd never seen anything like Wolf Shadow. If this person was allowed to grow, Holy Light Star would be destroyed. He was willing to trade 1,000 years of his life for one chance to find out who he really was. The Emperor was quiet, then one word granted. He told Shang Xian the mirror would arrive tomorrow. Use it in secret. Report everything directly to the Emperor before telling anyone else. Shang Xian asked one more question. Could Holy Light Star really ever reach 3rd-tier status? The Emperor said he didn't know, but if that day came, Shang Xian would see it. The old man smiled faintly at that. Then he stood up and walked out alone, his footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. His back was straight, but somehow he looked older. Like he'd already started spending those 1,000 years. And somewhere in a small room on the east side of the city, he was lying in bed with his eyes closed, sending his clones into one rift after another, completely unaware that someone was about to look into his past. His 10 clones kept clearing rifts like clockwork, 10 at a time, batch after batch. The leaderboards lit up like dominoes. 41 through 50, 51 through 60, 61 through 70, 81 through 90, all wolf shadow. The crowd had stopped screaming by now. They just watched in silence, like witnessing something divine. Someone joked it was more addictive than TV dramas. Su Lin was lying in bed at the Blood Flame Star quarters, watching all 10 clones through virtual screens in his mind. One was fighting a fire phoenix, another smashing an ice giant, another dodging lightning, another stomping skeletons. Different monsters, same result every time. Monsters die, clones dance. Su Lin closed the screens and stared at the ceiling. A thin crack ran across it like a dried-up river. His mind was on what came next. The top planets wouldn't stop. They'd come back with stronger tools, more warriors, nastier tricks. Su Lin needed to get stronger before that happened. Strong enough that they couldn't kill him. Strong enough that they wouldn't dare try. Su Lin pulled the covers over his head and decided to nap while the clones finished. Meanwhile, Clone 1 was walking between rifts when he noticed something strange. A small, run-down teleportation gate. Only 5 meters tall, 3 meters wide. The runes on the frame were dark and lifeless. Weeds grew around the base. The crystal board above it was completely blank. No first place, no second place, nothing. Not because it was broken. Because nobody had ever cleared it. Everyone who went in died. Millions of people over tens of millions of years. Not a single person had ever come back out. Nobody knew what was inside, what the rules were, or what the reward was. It was called the realm of world creation. Clone 1 stood there for 3 seconds looking at that blank board. Then he walked in. The moment he stepped through, the crystal board flickered to life for the first time in centuries. A guy nearby dropped his water bottle. Another almost dislocated his jaw mid-yawn. They started screaming. Someone entered the realm of world creation. That rift that's killed millions of people? Someone just walked in. Who? Which planet? Some short round-faced guy in black clothes. Within minutes, millions of people surrounded that dusty old gate. It had existed for tens of millions of years. Hundreds of millions had entered. 0 had returned. The contents, rules, and rewards were still a complete mystery. And his clone had just strolled in like it was nothing. Outside the gate, millions of people gathered to watch. 7 minutes passed, and nobody came out. They talked about how millions of people had entered this rift over tens of millions of years, and not one had ever returned. They figured whoever went in was dead for sure. Inside, his clone 1 stood in absolute nothingness. Not darkness, not emptiness, true nothing. No light, no ground, no space, no time. His consciousness started dissolving, melting away like ice in boiling water. He bit his tongue hard. The pain brought him back. A voice spoke, not the usual cold mechanical voice. This one was warm, gentle, almost grandfatherly. Welcome to the realm of world creation. The voice told him something chilling. The reason he was still alive was because he wasn't a real person. He was a clone without a complete soul. The nothingness here devours souls. If his main body had entered, he had already be dead, permanently. No revival possible. But a clone's incomplete nature made the devouring process much slower. Then the voice introduced himself. His name was Yuan from a planet called Celestial Origin Star. He wanted to tell his story. Tens of millions of years ago, his planet was the weakest among all second-tier planets. Resources stolen, talents poached, even their teleportation gate controlled by top-ranked planets who charged outrageous fees. But when Yuan awakened at 18, he broke the rules. His first awakening gave him a 10,000 times multiplier. The normal limit was 200. His second awakening hit the maximum at 200 times. Combined 2 million times enhancement. His planet poured everything into him. Best equipment, best resources. He didn't disappoint. He went from level 1 to 104 years. Cleared nearly 20 rifts at every level. Collected every reward he could. Then spent 100 years reaching level 200. And another 100 years leading Celestial Origin Star from rank 9732, all the way to number 1 among all second-tier planets. Number 1. Everyone called him the strongest. The chosen one who would lead them to become a third-tier planet. He believed it too. Then came the challenge. To promote a planet from second to third tier, you fight on a special platform in a separate dimension. Both sides send one level 200 warrior. You win, your planet rises. You lose, you die. His opponent was a young man from the lowest ranked third-tier planet. Same level 200. Fair rules. But the difference in power was devastating. Yuan had 2 awakenings 10,000 times and 200 times. Total, 2 million times. His opponent had 3 awakenings, each at the 200 times limit. Total, 8 million times. 4 times stronger than Yuan, and his equipment was immortal grade, 1 tier above the best eternal grade Girun could get. The real gap was about 40 times. Yuan's voice trembled as he told this part. He laughed a bitter, self-mocking laugh. One punch, just one punch. Su Lin didn't even see him move. Yuan continued his story. He told his clone how the fight ended. 3 seconds, 1 punch, a hole in his chest. His opponent looked at him like an ant, said trash, and walked away. Yuan never even saw his face clearly because the man never looked at him properly. Yuan died, but his body was pulled into Origin Star and became a rift, the realm of world creation. His obsession with helping a 2nd-tier planet reach 3rd tier became the challenge inside. He explained how it worked. Every person who'd entered over tens of millions of years was tested with the same thing, a simulated fight against a level 30 3rd-tier planet warrior. This warrior had 8 million times enhancement and immortal-grade equipment, 1 tier above eternal. To win, you needed at least 80 million times enhancement with eternal-grade gear. That requirement sounded insane, but Yuan said it was the minimum needed to have any chance of actually challenging a 3rd-tier planet for real. Su Lin did the math in his head. Su Lin had 4 trillion times enhancement. That was 50,000 times more than the 80 million minimum. This simulated warrior had 1 over 50 of his power. The challenge began, a platform floating in void. Across from his clone stood a silver-haired young man in dark gold immortal-grade armor, golden vertical pupils, 8 million times enhancement. He called him an ant and attacked. Lightning fast, full power, 1 punch to his chest. The damage number showed 1.2 quintillion. His reflect bounced it right back. He looked down at his cracked fist in confusion. Su Lin punched him back. 1,200.4 quintillion damage. His body exploded into light particles and scattered into nothing. Yuan was silent for 3 seconds. Then he laughed. Soft, light, with something in his voice he couldn't quite describe. Relief, release, like a weight he'd carried for tens of millions of years finally lifting. Good, 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 he said. He was the first person to win in all those tens of millions of years. He said he had the ability to lead a 2nd-tier planet to 3rd tier. He said if he challenged a 3rd-tier planet for real, he would win. Then came the reward. A smooth, round, palm-sized stone materialized from gray light. No color, no markings, cold as ice. The boundary stone, Yuan explained. It could sever a planet's connection to the rest of the universe. The targeted planet would become invisible and unreachable. No sensing it. No teleporting there. No locating it by any means. But the people inside would also be trapped, unable to leave or contact the outside. Complete isolation. Both ways. Su Lin asked if it could be undone. Yuan said it required a special item to reverse, but he didn't know what that item was or where to find it. He told him to use it carefully. Su Lin stored it in his spatial ring. Then Yuan said something that stuck with him. He said he was truly strong, maybe strong enough to not just lead a planet to 3rd tier, but to one day meet God. Outside the realm of world creation gate, millions of people were watching. When the gate flashed bright after about 20 minutes, but nobody visibly walked out. They were confused. Then someone noticed the crystal board. The one that had been blank for tens of millions of years was lit up. First place, Sirius Star Wolf Shadow, 19 minutes 47 seconds. The crowd went silent. Again the same name. The man who'd painted every level 20 leaderboard his color, survived 2 assassination attempts by 10 level 190 elders, and now cleared a rift that had killed millions over tens of millions of years. Nobody had ever come out alive. He did it in under 20 minutes. At Holy Light Star's headquarters, Shang Xian just stared at the board. He didn't yell this time. He simply said to wait. Tomorrow the time retrospection mirror would arrive. He'd finally find out who he really was. Back in his room, he was drinking tea. His clone had used Void Shuttle to teleport out the moment the gate flashed, so nobody saw him leave. Su Lin looked at his new item, the Boundary Stone. It could permanently sever a planet from the rest of the universe. Invisible, unreachable, sealed off completely. Su Lin wanted to use it on Blue Star someday, to protect it from powerful enemies. Su Lin realized the Boundary Stone needed to be physically present on the target planet to function, a limitation he would have to solve later. Su Lin told Clone 1 he did great, then ordered all 10 clones to keep grinding. 200 level 30 rifts, hit them all, finish within 90 minutes. They went to work like machines. 10 rifts at a time, under 3 minutes each, 5 minutes per batch including travel. The leaderboards flipped one after another. The crowd in the plaza had gone completely numb. People brought folding chairs and snacks, watching the boards like a TV show. Someone joked he must be God's illegitimate son out on a training trip. 1 hour, 120 rifts done. Another half hour, all 200. Every single level 30 rift, first place Wolf Shadow. Pure wall of one name from top to bottom, just like level 20. Millions of people laughed when it was over. Not nervous laughter, full roaring laughter. They said the top planets couldn't even do anything about it. Their dignity it just lost, it was crushed, stomped on, and spat on. His clones scattered back to their hiding spots across the city. Su Lin lay in bed scrolling through his rewards. 200 rifts gave him 197 skills. Most of the stored items were low-value materials saved as fuel for future upgrades, along with 3 special items that included the Boundary Stone. Skill number 187, Soul Storage, a unique passive. It opens a private storage space inside his soul. Can hold anything except living things. Size depends on soul strength. Storing and retrieving items is instant. Su Lin found the soul storage skill incredibly useful. It created a private space inside his soul for storing anything except living things. Since every clone shared his soul, they could all access the same storage. Su Lin immediately tested it, put the Boundary Stone in, then had his clone on Blue Star pull it out. Worked perfectly. It was like a shared locker between all of him. Su Lin also got 2 more items from the level 30 rifts. Another Heaven Tower card, grade 4 this time, letting him clear continuously from floor 30 to floor 39. That meant jumping straight to level 30 next Sunday, saving another 9 weeks. And a Soul Expansion Stone, a one-time use item that permanently strengthened his soul. Su Lin crushed it. Cold golden light poured into his chest. His soul storage space jumped from 1,000 cubic meters to 1 million. 1,000,000 cubic meters, 1,000 times bigger than his spatial ring. Su Lin moved everything into it. Instant access. Just think and it appears. With nothing left to upgrade for now, he decided to rest and read up on how second-tier planets actually worked. He had been grinding non-stop and hadn't taken a moment to understand this world. What he didn't know was that at 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday, Shang Xian was sitting alone in a dark room with the time retrospection mirror floating in front of him. Shang Xian pressed a hand against the time retrospection mirror and sacrificed 1,000 years of his own lifespan to trace the target known as Wolf Shadow. The first thing that appeared wasn't the silver-haired Wolf Shadow face. It was his real face, a 17-year-old kid with black hair and dark eyes. Then the mirror showed his second awakening, standing before a star source stone. The system voice announcing his name, Su Lin. His ability, Life Sovereign, 10,000 times health enhancement beyond evaluation range. Attack carrying 1% of maximum health as damage. Shang Xian's hands were shaking, not from fear, from shock. 10,000 times enhancement on the second awakening. In his 8,700 years of life, he'd never seen it. It only existed in ancient history. Then the mirror showed something else. Him standing in a room with Zhu Wei, Blood Flame Star's princess. Her wearing that red nightgown, her asking him to have a child with her. Her mentioning that he was in a state of servitude to her. Shang Xian's eyes narrowed. Servitude? Su Lin was being controlled. He now knew 3 things. His real name was Su Lin. Su Lin was connected to Blood Flame Star, and Zhu Wei was behind everything. The secret was out. Su Lin didn't know any of this was happening. Su Lin was asleep in his room while Shang Xian watched his entire life through that mirror. He saw everything. His real face, a 17-year-old kid with black hair. His name, Su Lin. His first awakening with its billion times multiplier. His second awakening with its 10,000 times multiplier. Total enhancement, 4 trillion times. He'd lived 8,700 years and never seen anything like it. He saw Zhu Wei in her red nightgown asking him to have a child. He heard her mention that he was in a state of servitude to her. He heard her say she was using him to destroy Sirius Star and avenge her mother. That was the moment everything clicked for him. He didn't need to kill him. He just needed to kill Zhu Wei. If the master dies, the slave dies with her. All of Su Lin's clones, survival skills, teleportation, and impossible statistics suddenly meant nothing. Killing one level 60 princess should have erased him completely. He contacted the Holy Light Emperor immediately, told him everything. His real identity, his abilities, the 4 trillion times enhancement, and the servitude linked to Zhu Wei. The Emperor was stunned. He considered whether to capture Zhu Wei instead and use her to control him, force him to help Holy Light Star reach 3rd-tier status. But he decided against it. Too many variables. Someone like him was too unpredictable to control, and if other planets found out Holy Light Star had him on a leash, they'd all come after them. Too risky. The order was simple. Kill Zhu Wei, don't capture. Don't negotiate, just kill her. The Emperor also ordered absolute secrecy. If the other 9 top planets learned about the servitude link, they'd race to kidnap Zhu Wei themselves. Whoever controlled her controlled him. They might not kill him. They might try to use him to promote their own planet to 3rd tier. That couldn't be allowed. So only 2 people in the universe knew his secret, Shang Xian and the Holy Light Emperor. Shang Xian was ordered to go to the Blood Flame Star quarters personally. Find Zhu Wei. Kill her. Make it clean. Leave no trace. He walked out of the room as dawn broke. His footsteps echoed in the empty hallway. He looked even more hunched than before, and he was just sleeping, completely unaware that someone was coming to kill the one person whose death meant his. 3 o'clock in the morning. Su Lin was asleep in his room at the Blood Flame Star quarters. Su Lin didn't hear anything, didn't feel anything, not at first. Then pain hit him like a bomb going off inside his skull. Not normal pain. His soul was being ripped apart, like a red-hot knife shoved through his temples and twisted. Like a million ants chewing on his consciousness one bite at a time. Su Lin heard a cold mechanical voice in his head. Warning, enslaver has died. Soul enslavement crystal triggering backlash. Countdown, 3, 2, 1. Then his consciousness exploded, shattered into pieces. Everything went dark. Su Lin was dead. His main body's heart stopped, breathing stopped, body went cold. Zhu Wei was dead too. Shang Xian had snuck into her room while she slept. Level 193 against level 60. She opened her eyes and saw him standing over her bed. She tried to scream but couldn't. One strike to the chest. Silent, clean. Her eyes went wide. Then the light in them went out. He'd figured it all out from the time retrospection mirror. His real identity. His connection to Zhu Wei. The enslavement link. Kill the master, kill the slave. He didn't need to fight through his clones, his survival skills, his teleportation. Just one sleeping girl. His consciousness floated in darkness. Fragments of his awareness drifting in nothing. No direction. No anchor. Then he heard the system voice again. Main body has died. Twin body skill triggered. Current available clones 11. Please select a clone to become the new main body. His shattered awareness pulled itself back together like pieces of a broken mirror reassembling. Su Lin couldn't pick the blue star clone. Su Lin needed to stay on Origin Star to keep growing. Su Lin chose Clone 1 in Origin City. Su Lin woke up gasping in a rundown rental room on the east side of the city. Wooden bed, crooked table, broken chair. Su Lin was drenched in sweat, hands shaking, not from fear. Just the aftershock of his soul being ripped apart and stitched back together. Su Lin checked his panel. Su Lin was now the main body, level 30, health 120,040 quintillion, twin body on cooldown for 30 days. Shadow clone on cooldown for nearly 6 days, but stone body double was ready. His old main body was dead. Zhu Wei was dead. Su Lin stood at the window looking out at the gray sky before dawn. The teleportation plaza lights blinked in the distance. Su Lin knew exactly what happened. Holy Light Star found out. They discovered Zhu Wei, discovered him, discovered the enslavement link. So, they killed her instead of him. It was the smartest move. Killing a level 60 girl in her sleep was a million times easier than trying to catch him. But they didn't know about his clones. They didn't know that when his main body dies, a clone becomes the new main body. They thought killing Zhu Wei meant killing him. They were wrong. Su Lin was still alive. While he was processing everything, Shang Xian was checking his old body at the Blood Flame Star quarters. He found Zhu Wei dead in her room, eyes still open. He closed them. Then he went to his room, found his body, no pulse, no heartbeat, no breathing, skin already cold. He used a special stone to verify death. It glowed dark red, confirmed dead. He said something quiet about wishing he had been born on Holy Light Star, then stored his corpse in his spatial ring and left. He thought it was over, but he was already awake in Clone 1's body across the city. And the first thing he thought about was Blue Star. If Holy Light Star found out about him through that mirror, they might have seen Blue Star too. They might go there to destroy everyone connected to him. What they did to Sirius Star was bad enough. What they do to a defenseless first-tier planet would be 100 times worse. Su Lin couldn't take that risk. Su Lin shifted his consciousness to his Blue Star clone in Dark Knight City. Su Lin pulled the boundary stone from his soul storage. That smooth, cold, colorless rock. Su Lin knelt down and pressed it against the ground. The moment it touched the floor, cold spread outward from his palm like mercury seeping through cracks. Gray-white lines appeared on the ground like roots, like veins, spreading in every direction. The lines glowed faintly and kept expanding through Dark Knight City, through the underground city up to the surface, across the wastelands, over the oceans, into the sky. The entire planet was covered in that pale light. People on the streets panicked. They saw the glow, thought it was a rift, started running. But it wasn't dangerous. It just felt cold under their feet. After about 30 minutes, all the light vanished at once. The stone crumbled to dust in his hand. Blue Star was now completely cut off from the universe. No teleportation gates could reach it. No one could locate it. People inside couldn't leave. People outside couldn't enter. Until he found a special item to reverse it. Blue Star was invisible. Su Lin shifted his consciousness back to Origin Star. Sitting in his rental room, he thought through his situation. Holy Light Star believed he was dead. They killed Xu Wei. His old body died from the backlash. They verified the corpse. To them, Wolf Shadow was gone forever. That was his advantage. If they thought he was dead, they'd stop hunting him. But he couldn't blow his cover by clearing more rifts on Origin Star. Any new record on Origin Star would reveal that Su Lin had survived, so he decided to stop clearing rifts there and use sealed Blue Star instead. It was sealed off. Nothing that happened there could be detected from outside. Su Lin could clear rifts, climb the tower, level up in complete secrecy. At least until level 100. There was one more problem. Shang Xian had seen his real face through the mirror. Su Lin had 10 clones on Origin Star, but only one had the 1000 illusion mask that could fool level 200 warriors. The other 9 only had the passive illusion form skill, which could only fool up to level 130. There were plenty of warriors above 130 on Origin Star. If any of his clones got spotted and their disguise was seen through, they'd know he was alive. Su Lin needed to find a way to upgrade his illusion form passive to fool higher levels. That was the next priority. Su Lin spent the morning upgrading his illusion form passive. Su Lin used the Forge Stone to melt down 71 useless skills one by one, feeding each into the disguise ability. Each upgrade only added 1 level of deception, from 100 levels above him to 101, then 102, 103, all the way up to 171. At that point, even at level 30, he could fool anyone up to level 200. The system told him 200 was the hard cap. No matter how much he upgraded, it couldn't go higher. Good enough for now. That used up 71 of his stored skills, leaving him 325 for future upgrades. Around noon, every public crystal screen across Origin Star lit up at the same time. Shang Xian stood on a platform in golden robes and made an announcement. Wolf Shadow is dead. He told everyone everything. His real name Su Lin, his real face. They showed a photo, the 17-year-old kid with black hair. He said he was from a first-tier planet called Blue Star. 2 awakenings, both beyond the rules. He explained that Blood Flame Star's princess Xu Wei had enslaved him with a soul crystal and forced him to impersonate a Sirius Star warrior. The whole plan framing Sirius Star, using the top planets as weapons to destroy them. It was all Xu Wei's revenge for what happened 10 years ago. Then he said Blood Flame Star had been destroyed. The screen showed ruins, the palace in rubble, bodies in blood, everything burned. The Blood Flame King was dead. The entire royal family wiped out. All high-ranking officials eliminated. He said Xu Wei was dead, and because of the enslavement link, he died with her. The crowd went silent. Millions of people just standing there, staring at nothing. Some whispered that Sirius Star had been innocent all along, tortured and humiliated for something they didn't do. Some said he had been a victim too, enslaved against his will. Others pointed out that even enslaved, he had still broken every record, survived 10 level 190 warriors twice, and cleared rifts nobody had touched in millions of years. If he had been free, nobody finished that thought. People started comparing him to a firework, the brightest flash, then gone. Some called it tragic. Some called it a waste. 2 beyond the rules awakenings, dead from a slave contract backlash. The screens went dark. The crowd slowly started to leave. They all thought he was dead. Su Lin was sitting in a rental room across the city, watching through his clone's eyes, very much alive. His disguise could now fool anyone up to level 200. Nobody on Origin Star could see through him. And on Blue Star, sealed off from the universe, his other clone was ready to start grinding in secret. They thought the story was over. It was just beginning. It was time to go back to Blue Star. Su Lin shifted his consciousness from Origin Star to his Blue Star clone in Dark Knight City. Changed his face back to his real one. Black hair, dark eyes, 17 years old. Su Lin checked out of the rental room and headed to the east gate of the city. Su Lin pulled his silver flying craft out of soul storage, climbed in, and set his destination, Dragon City War Academy. 1,800 kilometers, about an hour and a half. As he flew, he thought about how much had changed in just over a week. When he left, he was a level 10 Noti Runny running from Xu Wei. Now he was level 30 with 120,000 quintillion health, 10 permanent clones, and the ability to fool any warrior up to level 200. Blue Star was sealed. Nobody from outside could find it or enter. The people who wanted him dead thought he was already in the ground. Su Lin could walk around freely now. No disguises needed. No one chasing him. When he circled over the academy, he could see everyone on the training field. They were all staring at the ground, at the gray one patterns left behind from the boundary stone. The lines had stopped glowing, but they were still etched into the ground everywhere, like glass veins running through the stone. Nobody knew what they were. Su Lin spotted his classmates. Yin Yin was crouching on the ground, poking the lines. Han Bing was squatting next to her, looking confused. Ing Ren was leaning against a pillar with his eyes closed. Lin Yu was standing at the edge looking up at the sky. And Wang Shirong, she was still here. She'd apparently refused to leave the academy after he disappeared and talked old Jiang into giving her a room. Su Lin landed the craft on the training field. Everyone turned to look. The moment the door opened and he stepped out, the whole place went dead silent. Then Yin Yin sprinted at him so fast she nearly lost her shoes. She crashed into him with a hug, fist pounding his chest. "You jerk, you actually came back." She was crying and laughing at the same time. She said they'd been worried sick for over a week. No calls answered, no messages replied, completely vanished. Su Lin patted her back. He was fine now. Han Bing ran over too, eyes red, standing nearby with a dopey smile, repeating, "Glad you're back," over and over. Ing Ren walked up and just silently put his hand on his shoulder. Lin Yu stood in the back. She didn't come closer. When he looked at her, she simply said, "Welcome back." Then Wang Shirong shoved through the crowd and planted herself in front of him. Yellow dress, curled hair, full makeup, and absolutely furious. "You think you can just disappear for a week? Su Lin came here every single day waiting for you. Old Jiang is sick of him." She punched his chest. "Next time you pull this, you're buying dinner at the Yulu again." Su Lin said, "Okay." She blinked, then smiled, a real, bright smile. Su Lin looked around at all of them. This was why he had sealed Blue Star. These people, this place, it needed to be protected, and now it was. Everyone at the academy was staring at him when he got back. Old Jiang pushed through the crowd in his wrinkled uniform, looked him up and down, and said, "Alive?" Su Lin said yes. He said, "Good." Coach Lai came over too. Didn't say much, just shook his hand hard and told him welcome back. Wang Shirching was arguing with old Jiang about how she'd been camping at the academy for a week waiting for him. Apparently, she'd been climbing the walls to get in, and old Jiang had security chase her out. She didn't care. Then she pointed at the gray-white lines on the ground and asked if he made them. Everyone went quiet, waiting for his answer. Yes, he said he did. The whole place erupted. Old Jiang told everyone to calm down, and took them to the top floor meeting room. Just 7 of them, him, Yin Yin, Han Bing, Ying Run, Lin Yu, Wang Shirching, and old Jiang. Coach Lai stood guard at the door. Su Lin told them everything. Su Lin said he had been to a second-tier planet, that above their Blue Star, which was first tier, there were second and third-tier planets. A princess from Blood Flame, star named Zhu Wei, had enslaved him with a soul crystal and taken him there because of his talent. Yin Yin's face changed when she heard enslaved. Wang Shirching jumped up and said she'd killed Zhu Wei. Su Lin told her Shu Wei was already dead, killed by Holy Light Star, the top-ranked second-tier planet. They discovered his identity and the enslavement link when Zhu Wei died. His soul was torn apart and he died too. Yin Yin started crying. "You died? Then how are you standing here?" Su Lin explained his twin body skill. When his main body dies, he can revive through a clone. Then old Jiang asked about the lines on the ground. Su Lin told him about the boundary stone. He had used it to seal Blue Star from the rest of the universe. No one from outside could find them, locate them, or enter. Nobody from inside could leave either. It was permanent. Su Lin explained why. Holy Light Star knew he came from a first-tier planet. If they found Blue Star's coordinates, they'd do to them what they did to Sirius Star, or worse. Su Lin couldn't take that risk. Old Jiang was quiet for a moment. Then he said he made the right call. They didn't even know second-tier planets existed. There was nothing to discuss. He would have done the same thing. Yin Yin wiped her tears and asked if he was staying. Su Lin told them this clone of his would stay on Blue Star permanently, and he asked everyone to keep all of this secret. It was too big to let spread. They all agreed at once. 2 years passed. Su Lin could have reached level 150 days, but he didn't rush. Su Lin needed time. Time for the second-tier planets to forget about him, and time to build up the people around him. Su Lin spent the first 130 days waiting for Yin Yin and the others to reach level 30. After that, Su Lin began taking people with him, forming a group of 100 every Sunday before entering the Heavenly Tower. The routine became simple. Su Lin taunted every monster into a single swarm, then erased the gathered enemies with blood sacrifice. Everything died. His teammates just had to stand there, in and out in under a minute. 1 floor per week. Never missed a single Sunday. For 2 years straight. Today was the day. Floor 99. 100 people lined up in neat rows at the tower entrance. Everyone was level 99 now. Yin Yin, Han Bing, Ying Run, Lin Yu, Wang Shirong, Old Jiang, Coach Lai, General Jiang, and dozens more. 100 level 99 warriors. Something unthinkable 2 years ago when the strongest person on Blue Star was level 90. He had built all of this. Inside the tower, floor 99 had 100 world-ending dragons coiled around a mountain, each one enormous. Black scales the size of doors, golden slit pupil eyes, 1 quintillion health, attacks in the thousands of trillions. Their death skill was a self-destruct worth 10 quintillion damage. General Jiang stepped forward and said he couldn't tank it. Old Jiang said the same. Su Lin told them to just stand there. Su Lin activated his taunt. All 100 dragons went berserk. One bit him. Thousands of trillions in damage bounced right back. Broke its own tooth. Then he used blood sacrifice. All 100 dragons evaporated instantly, dead before they could even trigger their self-destruct. 47 seconds. Floor cleared. Level 100. Su Lin went back in alone for his passive trial. Took hell difficulty again. Ability enhancement 9 times multiplier. Combined with all his previous boosts from level 20 through 100, his total multiplier was now 46 trillion times. Su Lin checked his panel. Level 100. Health 4,601,380,000 quintillion. Attack carrying 1% of max health as damage. Over 1,500 skills stored for future fusion. From level 20's trials through level 100, he had always chosen hell difficulty ability enhancement, each one stacked. 1 times at level 20, 2 times at 30, 3 times at 40, all the way to 9 times at 100. Total 46 times multiplier on top of his billion times and 10,000 times awakenings, final number 46 trillion. Blue Star had nothing left to offer him. No more rifts at his level, no more tower floors to climb here. It was time to go back to Origin Star and start the next phase. 2 years had passed since everyone thought he was dead. During those 2 years he had been busy. Every 7 days, he split 10 new permanent clones. After 2 years, he had over 1,000. Su Lin scattered them all across Origin City working as waiters, street vendors, bodyguards, or just sitting in corners watching. 1,000 people, 1,000 pairs of eyes, collecting information every single day. Who had grudges with whom? Which planets were recruiting? Which geniuses had recently leveled up? Everything got recorded and sent back to him. For the first few months, people still talked about Wolf Shadow. They'd say it was a shame, what a waste of talent. Then the mentions got fewer and fewer. Now, nobody mentioned the name at all. Wolf Shadow had sunk like a stone in the ocean. Exactly what he wanted. Over 2 years, he built a detailed list of every top genius at level 100 or below across all second-tier planets. Names, abilities, personalities, weaknesses, daily routines, how many guards they had, what routes they walked, everything. One name sat at the top. Shang Yuan, the 9th Prince of Holy Light Star, level 100. His ability was health amplification, similar type to his. He was a loner who hated socializing and spent all his time reading or training. Most importantly, his personality was easy to imitate. He'd just hit level 100 and hadn't awakened his divine gift yet. That was the key. At level 100, you stop leveling through the Heaven Tower. Instead, you absorb divine power. How fast you absorb depends on 3 things. Your divine gift talent, ranked from common to God tier, your cultivation technique, and your resources. As a prince of the number 1 planet, Shang Yuan would get the best awakening ceremony, the best technique, and the best resources. If he became him, all of that would be his. Su Lin watched from a distance as Shang Yuan left the Holy Light Star quarters with his old guardian, a level 170 warrior called Uncle Zhang. They got into a black hover car and headed toward their private teleportation gate to return to Holy Light Star. Inside the car, Uncle Zhang was telling Shang Yuan about the awakening ceremony waiting for him. The Star Lord had prepared the finest awakening array, the best star source stones, and 3 elders as protectors. Shang Yuan asked Uncle Zhang what level Wolf Shadow would have awakened at if he'd lived. Uncle Zhang said he didn't know, but probably nothing low, maybe even God tier. Su Lin needed to kill Shang Yuan before he entered that teleportation gate. Once he reached Holy Light Star's palace, it would be nearly impossible. But Uncle Zhang at level 170 was a problem. Su Lin couldn't damage him at his current level, so he sent the order. Over 100 of his clones who'd been planted near the Holy Light Star quarters launched a sudden coordinated attack on the building. Not to win, just to make noise, cause chaos, force a response. Then Uncle Zhang's communication stone lit up. The emergency message reported that more than 100 intruders in black had attacked the Holy Light Star quarters, exactly as Su Lin had ordered his clones to do. The Holy Light Star quarters were under attack. Over 100 intruders in black. That was his clones doing their job. Shang Yuan told Uncle Zhang to go handle it. He said he'd walk to the teleportation gate alone. Uncle Zhang hesitated but left. He knew this kid never changed his mind once it was set. Su Lin watched the hovercar fly away. Then he moved. Su Lin was waiting around the corner, 200 meters from the gate. Just standing there in a black jacket, ordinary face, hands at his sides. Shang Yuan turned the corner and stopped. He looked at him. Su Lin could see it in his eyes. He sensed something was off. Shang Yuan demanded the stranger's identity, and Su Lin gave his real name. The prince immediately recognized it as the name behind the supposedly dead wolf shadow. Shang Yuan insisted that wolf shadow had died, and that Shang Jian had verified the corpse, but Su Lin calmly explained that the dead body had only been one body. He reached for his spatial ring to pull out a weapon, but he was faster, much faster. One strike, a hole in his chest the size of a fist, blood pouring out. He looked down at it, then looked back up at him. Shock, disbelief, frustration, all in those golden eyes. He dropped to his knees, then fell forward. Su Lin crouched beside him and activated his eyes of rebirth on his forehead. 22 years of memories flooded into his mind like a movie playing at high speed. Everything: his birth, his first awakening at 200 times, his second at 200 times, his daily routines, his habits, his fears, what he ate, how he walked, how he talked. All of it was his now. Su Lin looked at his body. Through his memories, he knew he wasn't a bad person, just quiet, hardworking, pure. But he was Holy Light Star royalty, the same people who killed Zhu Wei, the same people who destroyed Blood Flame Star. Su Lin offered a brief apology to the dead prince, stored the corpse inside his soul space, and prepared to take over the identity completely. Su Lin transformed. Silver white hair, golden vertical pupils, taller frame, broader shoulders. A golden sun mark appeared on his forehead, Holy Light Star's emblem. Su Lin looked exactly like Shang Yuan. Su Lin walked to the teleportation gate. 2 level 100 guards saw him and bowed. Ninth Prince. Su Lin nodded and stepped through. On the other side, Holy Light Star, a massive golden palace, hundreds of meters tall, crystal stars embedded in the ceiling, gold floors polished like mirrors. A level 180 attendant was waiting. Ninth Prince, the Star Lord is expecting you in his study. Su Lin walked through the long corridors. Guards bowed at every turn. Su Lin nodded at each one, just like Shang Yuan would. Su Lin pushed open the golden door to the study. The Holy Light Emperor stood at the window. Over 2 meters tall, golden robes, long hair. He turned around and looked at him with those sun-burning golden eyes. Using Shang Yuan's voice, Su Lin addressed the Holy Light Emperor as father, and the ancient ruler studied him for several seconds before relaxing into a smile. Come sit. He told him the awakening ceremony was ready. The best array, the best star source stones, 3 elders as protectors. The emperor explained that the awakening array would be ready in 2 days, when Shang Yuan was expected to enter and awaken his divine gift. His 8th brother, Saint Tianjiao, the one he had punched through 4 walls 2 years ago, was also level 100 now. He'd be back tomorrow. They'd awaken together. You're both Holy Light Star's greatest hopes, the emperor said. The emperor expressed hope that both princes would awaken extraordinary talents, and Su Lin answered with the respectful agreement Shang Yuan's memories told him to give. The hallway was empty. His footsteps echoed on the golden floor. 2 days until the awakening. Until then, he couldn't make a single mistake. Holy Light Star's sky was golden, like someone hung a thin veil across the heavens with light shining through it. Everything had an amber glow. Su Lin stood at a window in the palace corridor, going through his plan. The awakening ceremony was in 2 days. His disguise could fool anyone up to level 200. The Holy Light Emperor was level 199. Su Lin was safe barely, but he couldn't relax. Shang Yuan grew up in this palace. Every person, every hallway, every conversation was a chance to slip up. The only reason he could pull this off was the eyes of rebirth. Su Lin had all 22 years of his memories. Every name, every face, every relationship, it was all in his head. A maid came running up. Ninth Prince, Lady Hua wishes to see you. Lady Hua, Shang Yuan's mother. From his memories, he knew her story. She came from a minor noble family, entered the palace at 18, had Shang Yuan at 19. She was 42 now but looked 30. She wasn't the Empress. The Empress was from the most powerful family on Holy Light Star, mother to the 1st Prince, the 8th Prince Saint Tianjiao, and the 5th Princess. Lady Hua had no powerful family backing her. She kept her head down, stayed quiet, never fought for attention. The only thing she cared about was her son. Su Lin walked through 3 corridors, 2 gardens, and across a stone bridge to reach her palace. It was small, but elegant, and smelled faintly of orchids. She was sitting by the window drinking tea. Lady Hua smiled the moment she saw him, warm and completely genuine, and the affection stored in Shang Yuan's memories stirred an uncomfortable feeling inside Su Lin. In Shang Yuan's memories, this woman truly loved him. Stayed up all night when he had fevers as a child. Bandaged his training wounds herself. Stood trembling outside the door during his first awakening. Using Shang Yuan's voice, Su Lin called her mother, and Lady Hua immediately fussed over his thinner appearance and blamed Uncle Zhang for not feeding him properly. When she remembered that her son had loved osmanthus cake as a child, Su Lin told her that the taste still appealed to him. She paused, surprised, then smiled until her eyes curved into crescents. She immediately sent a maid to have the kitchen make some. She asked if he was nervous about the awakening. Su Lin said no. She told him not to put pressure on himself. Whatever talent level he got would be fine. Then she mentioned that his 8th brother, Saint Tianjiao, was coming back tomorrow. He was level 102 and would awaken at the same ceremony. She warned him he'd try to compete with him, like he always had. Lady Hua warned that Saint Tianjia was the Empress's son, and that openly competing with that branch of the family could be dangerous. Su Lin said he understood. She looked at him with sad eyes. This was a mother who'd spent 22 years protecting her son in a palace where they had no real power. The osmanthus cake arrived. She handed him a piece. Su Lin bit into it. The cake was sweet, fragrant, and soft on the tongue, and Lady Hua's crescent-eyed smile widened when Su Lin admitted that it tasted good. Then eat more. Su Lin sat there eating cake with a dead man's mother, wearing a dead man's face. And for a moment he almost forgot what he was really there to do. Su Lin ate osmanthus cake while Lady Hua watched him with those warm, crescent moon eyes. She noticed something different about him, said he was quieter than before, like a mountain. Su Lin told her he'd just grown up. She mentioned that after the awakening, his father might arrange a marriage for him, a girl from the Aoyang family, the Empress's clan. She said she didn't want him getting tangled in palace politics, but some things couldn't be avoided. She asked if he had anyone he liked. Su Lin said no. She seemed relieved. No attachments meant nobody could use them against him. Then she told him something that stayed with him. She said she'd never been able to give her son wealth or power or connections. She couldn't even protect him from being bullied in the palace. But no matter what happened at the awakening, he was her son. That would never change. Su Lin looked at her. The faint wrinkles, the silver strands in her hair, the calluses on her fingers from old needle work. The contradiction cut deep. This woman had spent 22 years loving the man whose face Su Lin now wore, and he could only answer that he understood. The next morning, Saint Tianjiao arrived. Golden hover car, golden armor, 20 level 150 guards trailing behind him. Big entrance. He spotted him watching from his window across the courtyard. They locked eyes for a moment. He smirked, then walked away. An hour later, he sent a maid to summon him to the training grounds. He wanted to spar. Everyone knew what this really was. He'd always dominated Sheng Yuan in fights growing up. This was his welcome back power move. Su Lin went. He stood in the center of the arena, arms crossed, chin up. Saint Tianjiao greeted the 9th prince and proposed a spar, expecting Sheng Yuan to avoid it as usual. But Su Lin accepted immediately and ruined that expectation. That surprised him. He came at him swinging, golden light on his fists, full speed. Su Lin dodged everything. Punch after punch, he couldn't touch him. His face darkened. After evading every glowing punch, Su Lin stopped retreating and answered the challenge with a single right hand aimed at Saint Tianjiao's chest. He flew backward, skidded across the stone floor, and stopped 10 meters away. Chest dented in, blood at his mouth. The whole arena went silent. Su Lin held back enormously. Full power would have killed him instantly. Saint Tianjiao staggered upright and demanded to know when his younger brother had become so strong, while Su Lin gave only the vague answer that it had happened over the past few years. Saint Tianjiao left with a promise that the awakening ceremony would decide the real winner, and Su Lin returned to Lady Hua's palace. She'd already heard. She asked if he was hurt. Su Lin shook his head. Lady Hua asked what happened to Saint Tianjiao, and Su Lin dryly explained that the 8th prince had been carried away, earning a soft laugh from her. She remembered that Sheng Yuan had never beaten his brother before, and Su Lin answered only that the past no longer applied. You've really grown up, haven't you? The next morning, awakening day. Lady Hua came to his room before dawn and dressed him in the white ceremonial robes herself. Lady Hua's fingers trembled while she fastened the white ceremonial robes, and Su Lin gently told her not to worry. She claimed she was calm, even though her reddened eyes said otherwise, then stepped back and studied the son she believed had finally grown confident. Handsome. Then they walked to the awakening hall, a black palace at the deepest part of the grounds, standing dark among all the gold. A crowd was already gathered outside. The awakening ceremony was held before dawn at a black palace deep inside the royal grounds. Everyone important was there. The Holy Light Emperor in golden ceremonial robes, the Empress in red with her phoenix crown, Saint Tianjiao in white beside her, Lady Hua standing quietly at the edge in a simple purple dress. The otherwise whispered that Lady Hua's son would get a royal tier talent at best. Bad bloodline, they said. Lady Hua heard them but didn't react. She just stared at the door. Saint Tianjiao went first. He walked into the awakening array and golden light wrapped around him. 30 seconds later, a golden eye appeared on his forehead. The Grand Priest fell to his knees. The Grand Priest dropped to his knees and announced that the 8th prince had awakened a holy tier talent. sending a wave of excitement through the hall. Holy Light Star hadn't seen a holy tear in 300 years. Saint Tianxiao walked out with his chin even higher than usual, stopped in front of him and smirked. Saint Tianxiao emerged proudly and turned the ceremony over to his ninth brother, so Su Lin stepped into the awakening array without hesitation. Su Lin could feel something growing inside, like a seed cracking open. The system voice started up in his head, generating talent, generating. Then his passive kicked in. Fate's favor, the invisible hand that always tilts probability in his favor. The system stuttered. The system stuttered under fate's favor, detected an unknown interference, regenerated the result, and finally presented a god-tier talent for confirmation. Su Lin drew one breath, confirmed the result, and the awakening array erupted instead of merely glowing. Golden light blasted out like a volcano. The entire hall shook. The Grand Priest stumbled backward and nearly fell. On his forehead, a mark appeared. Not a sun, not an eye, a five-pointed star, golden, radiating light so bright the whole palace turned gold. The Grand Priest's legs failed beneath him as he identified the five-pointed golden mark as proof of a god-tier awakening. His voice was shaking. The Holy Light Emperor rushed into the hall. He stared at him with those burning golden eyes. Shock, excitement, something beyond words. He'd lived over 10,000 years, he'd seen Holy Tier, he'd seen Royal Tier. God Tier existed only in legends. The founding Star Lord of Holy Light Star had been the last one, and that was nearly 1,000,000 years ago. The Holy Light Emperor repeated his praise 3 times, gripped Su Lin's shoulder, and declared the 9th Prince the future of Holy Light Star. That declaration drained the color from the Empress's face, because the power balance inside the royal family had changed in a single awakening. Her nails dug into her palms until they bled. She couldn't understand how this was possible. Saint Tianxiao stood beside her with his head down. Holy Tier, 300 years in the making, and he'd been so proud of it 5 minutes ago. Now his younger brother had God Tier, he'd lost completely. Lady Hua walked through the crowd toward him. Lady Hua pushed through the crowd with trembling lips and red eyes, overwhelmed less by politics than by the sight of her son standing unharmed. Su Lin called her mother, and she reached up with a shaking fingertip to touch the radiant star mark on his forehead. Her first concern was whether the awakening had hurt him, and when Su Lin shook his head, relief broke across her tear-streaked face. Lady Hua repeated the same 3 words of praise as the emperor, but hers carried the uncomplicated relief of a mother rather than the ambition of a ruler. But hers meant something completely different. After the awakening, the Holy Light Emperor ordered everyone to keep his God-tier talent secret. Anyone who talked would die. God-tier was Holy Light Star's ultimate trump card. Other planets would try to kill him if they found out. He took him to his private study and explained the difference between talent levels. Holy Tier talent, like Saint Tianxiao's, has a theoretical ceiling around level 195. Pushing past that requires astronomical resources. The Emperor himself was Holy Tier. Going from 195 to 196 cost half of Holy Light Star's entire reserves. Getting to 199 took another 3,000 years and the other half. That's why only top 10 planets could produce level 199 warriors. Nobody else had enough resources. God Tier was completely different. Breaking past 195 only needed 1/10 the resources of Holy Tier. With Holy Light Star's wealth behind him, the Emperor believed Su Lin would definitely reach level 199. 2 level 199 warriors on one planet would mean absolute dominance for 10,000 years. No other planet could match that, but God Tier was also dangerous. If other planets learned about it, they'd throw everything at killing him before he grew strong enough. Su Lin asked how long it would take to reach 199. He said about 100 years with good resources. Su Lin thought that was too slow. He laughed. It took him 3,000 years. He mentioned a faster option, the Divine Fall Zone. An ancient battlefield where gods died. Their remaining power crystallized into god crystals. Each one was worth 10 years of normal training. But the place was filled with monsters that fed on those crystals and became impossibly strong. Over a dozen level 199 warriors had gone in throughout history. None came back. He also told him something important about levels past 100. Before 100, every 10 levels meant a 10-fold increase in base stats. After 100, it was a 100-fold per 10 levels. That meant level differences mattered far more than talent at higher levels. Even with his 46 trillion times enhancement, he did the math. His level 100 stats were roughly equal to a level 130 genius like Saint Tianxiao. Su Lin calculated that his level 100 statistics roughly matched a level 130 genius, but above that gap he would lose on raw level scaling. The Emperor said he'd give him the best resources, the best cultivation technique, and the best training environment. His only job was to level up as fast as possible. 100 years to become Holy Light Star's second level 199 king. Su Lin nodded as though he accepted the century-long plan, while privately deciding that 100 years was far too slow. 100 years was too long. Su Lin needed to find a faster way. The Holy Light Emperor gave him a thin golden book, the Holy Light Technique, a saint-level cultivation method, one of the top 3 in all second-tier planets. Less than 100 saint-level techniques existed. He explained the ranking. Common Spirit, King, Emperor, Saint. Each level determined how high you could cultivate. Common level only reached 120. Spirit reached 140. King reached 160. Emperor reached 180. Only Saint level could take you all the way to 200. The Holy Light Technique absorbed divine power 10 times faster than ordinary methods. 1 year of his training would equal 10 years for someone with a lesser technique. But it was extremely difficult to learn. Even the Emperor took 3 months to get started. The Holy Light Technique now rested in Su Lin's hands, giving him a path that ordinary awakeners could only dream of following. Yet even that path demanded a century, and Su Lin had never accepted the pace that everyone else called reasonable. Divine Fall Zone remained fixed in his thoughts, not as a promise of victory, but as the only shortcut the Emperor himself feared. For the moment, Su Lin had hidden his true identity, gained a god-tier future, and secured the resources of the strongest planet in the second tier. This chapter ended with Su Lin alive, disguised, stronger than before, and determined to turn a 100-year road into something far shorter.